Wasted with Wize, episode 125. Give me all your lovin'. All right, yeah. Little ZZ Top action for you guys. Hey, what do y'all think, huh?
Yeah, all right.
You're coming down very, very low. Turn up your gain just a little. It's just some,
really
please.
Don't care. So there, is that better?
No, it's still soft.
Good.
That's what she said.
That's what he said.
Let me check something then. Probably.
No, that song. Every time I hear that song, it reminds me of Beverly Hills Ninja with Chris Farley.
Yeah, that's exactly.
There's a scene where he busts inside the strip club.
Guess what I was watching this week?
So not a good movie,
ironic that you just said that shit. You know, guess what I was watching?
I'm one with the universe. I'm one with the universe.
Who says, you know what they say, right? You know, you feed a dog long enough, they start looking like you. But if you podcast with folks long enough, you start having similar shit, right? I guess I feel so fucking sorry for you guys because you're streaming with me if that's true. Shit. But then again, it might bring some color back to your life. Anyhow, all right.
I gotta call it. Paul's the pale looking one.
Yeah, well, you know, once I start rubbing off on you guys, trust me, the color will come back quick. So there you go.
Your mic's muted, Paul.
I can't hear you talk. Okay.
Yeah, I can't hear shit.
Now it's gone. Paul, I can't hear you. What iota?
Hang on.
No, now I hear you.
We shouldn't have told him anything.
Oh, is it loud enough now? Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
it'll be fine. We'll work with it.
It wasn't a volume issue before. There was just nothing audible at all coming out.
That's not what he said. He said I was quiet when I asked. Never mind.
Well, maybe you were too far from your mic or something. I don't know. Like sometimes that happens with this guy. That you know, like if I don't like literally talk to it, it doesn't register. So yep.
Well,
yeah, see, my mic's like a foot and a half away.
Hmm?
No, it sounded like you were muted because I didn't hear anything.
Probably because you weren't paying attention.
I was listening, man. Relax.
That could probably be the case. So, all right. My name, as always, is the wise old gamer, the man who brings the fun and dysfunctional. I am the host of this motley cast of characters every Friday evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, so a little bit of stuff happened. I mean, give me all your loving. I guess that's what Bluepoint. That's what Sony said to, or PlayStation said to Bluepoint. Give me all your loving and everything else. Get the fuck out. Yep. And so they also said that to Sarah Bond,
that way. Okay. That's the minor news. Did you see the big news that just dropped a couple hours ago?
I know. Don't steal my thunder.
Nobody gives a shit about what's happening at Sony at this point. Okay.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about what's happening at Sony. All right. Okay. Yeah. So let me go ahead and go with the introductions and stuff. So we are expecting a full house tonight. So my podcast panelists will be rolling in as they get off of work and get settled in. So all right, let me go to the man to my immediate left. My man, Cerebral. How's life, buddy? How's your week been going? What you been doing? What you been playing, man?
What have I been playing that I can talk about is now the key question. Well, what's going on behind you there? Not the titty thing, but you've got voices coming over your microphone back there.
The house full of people. Remember, I'll mute.
Yeah. So what have I been playing? Let's see. I finished off the pirate Yakuza game. Little bit of World of Warcraft. A little bit of quite a bit of a game I can't mention.
So how is Forza these days?
For real this time? No.
Oh shit! How? Sorry. I look, I don't know anything about Cerebral. Okay. If by some chance you or some Microsoft employee or some employee listen to this podcast, first of all, my question to you is, what the fuck? Do you have nothing better to do with your life on a Friday night? But then second of all, and more importantly, I don't know. I'm just fucking with them. So don't take it out. So, but anyways, long story short, now that I've said my spiel, how is Forza 6?
And let's see, because it came on Game Pass, I played a little bit of Madden. I've been a little bit all over the place.
A little bit of Forza, a little bit of Fable, a little bit of Clockwork Revolutions.
Nope. I wish. Yeah.
Just a little bit of here and there. And a little bit of E-Day, a little bit of the Halo remake, a little bit of here and there, basically giving you a taste of everything, right?
You wish. I wish. We all wish.
When you were saying? When you go to a bar, you can order what we call a flight of beers, where they give you a small sample of like 4 or 5 different beers, or a flight of
it's a bunch of little shot glasses on a little tray. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, okay, if they give you a little shot of games, is that a flight of games or what?
Could be. Yeah. I mean,
it's just like, I don't know. Like, anyhow. All right. So what you said, the games that you've been playing, what has been occupying most of your time this week?
Most of my time this week has been probably Madden, actually, just because I've been messing around. The game I'm looking at for other purposes is just a slice, and so it didn't take that long. I'm gonna be going through it a couple of times because I've got to do some write up and stuff on it, but it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can say about that. It's a game I've been looking forward to.
Sound like Forrest Gump. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
Life's like a box of chocolates. Don't know when you're going to get a Forza or you're going to get a Fable.
But my box of chocolates lately has been nothing but those coconut covered pieces of shit. Yeah,
so you don't like Mounds?
Oh no, I do not like candied coconut.
Oh my God. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Right? KY's like that, right? KY, sometimes you feel like having...
You can feel your nuts all you want. I don't want to.
I can't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm like that. Sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes I don't. There you go. But I am a nut. But there you go.
That sounds like a you thing. That, in Alabama.
Hey, don't judge. It's the 21st century. Everything's okay.
Yeah.
That's what they want us to believe.
Are you disenfranchising me?
Yes.
With prejudice.
Okay. All right, my next panel is my man Nova. How's life, buddy? How's your week been doing?
Sucks. Didn't you hear he can't feel his nuts?
He can't. I heard he can't feel his legs either.
That's a 12-year issue. It's ongoing. That's been fun.
Okay, well, how you been occupying your time this week besides masturbating?
Can't do that. Yeah, just watching YouTube videos and Netflix and shit. Nothing crazy.
No games?
Nah, the only thing that came out recently I tried playing was that Sons of Sparta game, and it's really not for me. I'm really waiting for Resident Evil 9 next Friday.
Oh yeah. I know a lot of people are keeping their palate empty because of these games are actually literally coming to us like rapid fire. Boom, 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 boom. We got like, as you said, Resident Evil, and then like after that we got Crimson
There's
Desert.
a bunch of games the following month.
Yeah, a bunch of games, and then this.
May is going to be stupid for me.
I think all of these months are going to be stupid all the way up to maybe September.
Well, I'm excited for that though.
Not really. After May, things really slow down. At least for the information we have now. After May, things kind of slow down.
Paul said you don't know shit.
Yeah, I'm not an insider like he is.
And I'm not just talking about Xbox. I'm just talking about game releases in general.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I know a lot of people are doing that. They're like, yeah, there's these games. I don't want to get into anything really heavy right now. I just want to keep my power. And that's the first game a lot of people are looking forward to. Like, that's like the first, I would say the big, tentpole game that everyone sort of knows.
It's
that's
probably
coming out.
the first major release of this year.
Yeah, it is the first major release,
really
right?
major game, yeah, so far for 2020. It's all been kind of smaller stuff, I think.
Yeah. I mean, right now, like for me, of course, nobody would care, but Dragon Quest VII Remake is out, so I've been playing that. I'm in the middle of that, but that's like a 400-hour game if you go for completion. So, but it's one of those things. It's like a long trod, you know. It's like one of those books that are like 3,000 pages long. So you read a little bit, then you put it down. You read a little bit, then you put it down, and you go explore other things. You come back and read a little bit, and then you put it down and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's sort of what that game is. So I'm not too terribly worried about that one, especially if Requiem comes out. When Requiem comes out, I'm still in the middle of the game. I'm anywhere near. Let's put it this way. I got 25 hours in the game. I'm still in the introduction.
Yeah, no, see, I'm pretty sure I'll beat that shit in a weekend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't even play those games. Like, I swear to you, God, if I forced you to play that game, that girl behind you would stop gyrating. It would just go saggy. Yeah.
to do what now?
You don't play games like Dragon Quest VII and shit like that, do you?
Oh, hell no. No,
that's not your cup of tea.
Not since I was a kid when I played the first Final Fantasy VII on PS1. Like, that's the last time I played a game that looked like that.
But are you typically a turn-based guy, or you just don't like that turn-based mechanic?
I enjoyed it back then, but like nowadays, it's not really my thing. I enjoy turn-based, like when I played XCOM 2.
Mm-hmm.
But it really just depends on the game, because like I tried, Midnight Suns. I hated Midnight Suns. It really just depends on the game. But these days, I'm more interested in games with like narratives, single-player campaigns, exploration, things like that. These are the things that I'm more interested in nowadays versus when I was a kid. And I played all kinds of shit when I was a kid that these days don't interest me as much. Like fighting games. I used to play the shit out of Street Fighter and Tekken and Soul Calibur and all those games. Now, I still enjoy them, but like I'm not going to spend $60, $70 for a fighting game. Like, I'm just not going to do it.
I agree, because I mean, like, I'm in the same situation. Like, I can't play them. I mean, I'll end up just button mashing. I want to play them. They look beautifully, like Token Battle and Dragon Ball Z Fighters and stuff. I mean, and I do watch it. I do like watching people play it, because if you get two really good fighters who really know what they're doing in the game, it's almost like watching artistry in motion. It's like, you know, attack, counterattack, and it's like flourishes, and it's crazy. It's almost like, watching a seizure, So I enjoy watching it. I just won't be able to play them anymore because I just don't have the reflexes.
It's not like a dexterity reflex or skill issue. It's just that, like, I don't know. It's not the same. Like it's something like I used to play a whole shit ton of Mario Kart when I was a kid, or even Smash Brothers when I was a kid. Not really interested in that. I played the fuck out of Episode 1 Pod Racer. This new Star Wars racing game doesn't really interest me all that much, even though like I played the shit out of Episode 1 Pod Racer,
It doesn't. I found out this week that the game is being developed by the same people who do Need for Speed and stuff like that, and that got me intrigued as well. So I'm like,
yeah,
okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, usually generally speaking, that developer makes a decent game. I'm not saying they make a game that's like, oh my God, it's like, breaks the genre or whatever, redefines the genre. But I mean, they make
isn't like Turn 10 or some shit?
No, Turn 10 was Forza.
Was it?
No, what you were saying? I'm gonna
Turn 10.
You said Turn 10. I thought that's what I heard you said. Maybe I got it wrong.
That's what I heard him say too. I did hear him say Turn 10.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Isn't that who's doing the new game, or is someone like that? There was like some people that used to be ex-Burnout devs and stuff like that.
That's what but Turn 10 does Forza. I don't know. I thought it was the Burnout devs that were doing it. Turn 10 does Forza. Or used to do Forza Motorsports before whatever happened to them. So now. So.
Well, now it's just Forza. Yeah.
It's from what I found out about this game, it's going to be kind of interesting.
Oh, it's former Criterion devs that are known for Burnout and Need for Speed. That's what it is, Criterion.
And Criterion tends to make a pretty good Need for Speed. I remember the last one they made was what was that thing called? It was that Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Tutor or something like that, where it had like the Need for Speed Most Wanted to. It had the cell shaded art like stuff on the side and everything when you went really fast and went into turbo. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. So,
they didn't make a Most Wanted to, I don't think.
There was this one racer they made. It was in the Need for Speed franchise. It was their most recent one.
Yeah, it was Unbound, I think.
Yeah, okay, that was
Is the one with all like the weird cell shit. You can get like
that's the one I'm talking about. Yes, that's
neon wings and shit that came out of the car when
yeah.
you did jumps. Yeah.
I actually liked the game. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say, oh my God, it was like a very, intellectually stimulating game. And I was really engrossed with the story and all that. It was, you fucking drive around and wreck shit. What in the fuck, So, yeah.
I guess they did make a Most Wanted too. I don't remember.
All right. So, RPG 88 said Heat. I don't know what that means for, but Heat. Okay. I guess
it's a Need for Speed game.
Oh, Heat. Oh, okay. I thought he was just getting hot looking at the stuff behind you. So
no, I think that was like a PS3 360 era Need for Speed.
Yeah. Well, oh well. Well, you're not gonna play it. You're not gonna play the new Pod Racer, or you're just like you're gonna wait for a discount, or probably never go to it.
Probably wait for a discount. Again, like I said, for me these days, I need something that's gonna be really engaging. So it's got to have something, like I said, that's going to have a narrative that's going to be engaging to me, or exploration things to keep me really invested in the game. Racers these days, unless they're open world racers like your Need for Speeds or your Forzas, I don't play just regular on track racers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is very much just an on track racer. So I can't imagine that there's going to be that much there for me. And like, how long till I beat the game? And like, I don't know. And like, just for me, like, again, when I was a kid with my N64, I got what, 4 games all year long, 5 games all year long, right? So you had that one game and you just played the shit out of that game until you got your next game for your birthday or for Christmas. That's the way it was when we were kids. Now, dude, freaking 6 games come out a month. So I play a game, move on to the next game, play a game, move on to the next game. And I don't know if it's really something that I want to pay $60 or $70 for to play for how much amount of time and then move on to the next thing. Like something like a Resident Evil, I'll definitely throw my money into that because I know I'm really going to get all my money's worth out of it. I don't know that I would get all my money's worth out of the racer game, just because, again, like I said, these are things that as a kid I was like, oh yeah, because that's what I was all about when I was a kid. But now I'm just interested in different things.
Okay, well, fair enough. I mean, we all of our tastes change after a while, so yeah, I mean, it's fair. I mean, I just like going back and looking at stuff. I mean, I'm not going to sit there like games that really take me for the full run is games like you say, turn-based games as well for me, and open world games, obviously. And I still have a thing. My heart still goes out to Metroidvanias. I am a Metroidvania fan, love Metroidvania type games, and I know most people don't like them, but I still do. So it is what it is. So, all right, KY.
Yes, sir.
How's life, big homie? What you been doing? What you been playing this week?
Well, yeah. Let's see. What have I been playing? I've been playing. There's been a new update for The Last Caretaker. I've been playing that. I've been playing High on Life 2. Podcast has a new look. Game Set Live podcast. We stream in high def with low def behavior. I have embraced my fiber isometric internet, and everything uploaded to my channel is now in 4K 60 HDR. Yeah. And it's so far and I've embraced AI. I've started talking with Copilot about setting up encoders and stuff, and it was like, well, I can give you the general, but if you let me know exactly what kind of CPU and GPU you have and how much RAM you have, I can tailor it to your device. And I tell it what my hardware is, and it goes, oh, you have a monstrous seeming streaming setup, is what it told me. This will be like playing OBS on easy mode. Let me just give you the quick settings and let you go. And it was like, yeah. And just before the show, I had to run into the bedroom real quick and yank one off to the hot Asian that's now running Xbox.
Oh, I thought you had to give your wife a pickle tickle. But okay, well, I guess that's equally as good. So there you go.
Well, that too.
Yeah, sometimes you have to tickle your own pickle, but there you go.
And I'm looking at a game right now called UFOphilia. I'm pretty interested in it.
Is that chick actually hot though, or is because she like Sarah Bond? Everyone's like, oh my god, Sarah Bond is hot. And I was like, yeah, she's like,
no, she's actually hot.
No, that Asian chick's hot. I'm sorry. I wanted to send her a message. Hey, from one MRI to another,
let me look
I see you.
Xbox press.
See.
Wink.
Aisha Sharma.
The Asian way of No, we don't say, "Hey, what you doing?" We're like, hello, how are you?" So,
Well, you don't count because she's of your ethnicity. So I don't want to hear what you have to say about it.
hey,
Yeah,
all I have to
you
do is have our families talk. That's all I have to do.
I think she's better looking than Sarah Bond before. She also has the same last name as my old urologist.
Wise. That conversation's going to end. That conversation's going to end with, please don't contact us again. You know.
Exactly. Wait, hey, at least the families will get to talk. That's all I gotta say.
There you go. There you go, Super. There she is.
I just looked it up on Google. Yeah, she's cuter than Sarah Bond
Yeah,
for sure.
she's most definitely. Yeah. Oof. Oh my God. Yeah, she was. I don't know how I feel about the whole situation, but hey, the person they picked, you know,
Ask your
if,
pants.
if Mia Khalifa
Dude.
is anything to be believed.
I mean,
I
are
gotta
we
be
gonna
honest
talking
with
about
you,
this right now?
So I gotta. I'll just say one quick thing because I know we need to. It'll be a whole big topic we talk about.
Mhm.
I did watch as soon as Destin streamed. He did a live stream where he read all the emails that were given to him by. He wouldn't say who who gave them to him, but I did really like her energy. She came off as kind of a fanboy, which is what Xbox needs. We don't need all that kumbaya shit. So
Oh, okay, so what was it about? Like, what did she talk about? I'm just curious.
Can we get through the intros and save this for the major discussion?
Yeah, we will. Okay, so go ahead. We'll go ahead and say your spiel, and we'll go ahead and do what we need to do. All right. So, and you have anything
I'm
else to
not
say,
talking about me.
KY, before we get to the main topics?
Yeah.
no, that's good.
All right.
Good,
We're gonna get into all the gory details with Miss Shaw
Well, that's
and
what
all
I
that
mean.
stuff.
Why talk about it now when we're going to talk about it later? So
Yeah, we're going to talk about it later. So let's go ahead. Okay, since we're still waiting for a few more people to sort of mosey on in, let's go ahead and get over through some of our smaller topics. Team Ninja says that they sold Neo has sold 3 million in 2 weeks or something like that. I guess it says Team Ninja has sold 1 million copies. 1 million copies of Neo 3. So there you go.
that's different than 3.
Yeah, well, yeah, 3, 1, all the numbers come together. I'm not good at the numbers, man. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm an Alabama math teacher.
Yay, you know, so it's called job security. But anyone played Neo 3? I mean, never got into the Neo franchise. I mean, it's just another one of those Souls-like the hundreds of other ones out there. But apparently those who've been playing
I played the demo. That's about it.
Is it like Neo 2, I guess? If you like Neo 2, you like Neo 3?
I mean, it played kind of similar, but they do make a few changes. I haven't played extensively because, like I said, I only played the demo to know how much different it gets over the course of the entire game. But just from the onset in the demo, it played quite a bit differently, just in terms of like weapon types and stuff like that, and then weapon systems. But at the end of the day, it's still very much Neo.
Cool beans. All right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like all of that. There was another one that came out. There was Prisoner Kazan, something that came out last year. I played a few hours of that. That was pretty fun. And the only reason I played that was because the main character was like pseudo cell shaded, so it was kind of different. But all of these games, I mean, they all go into the sea of like Souls, like
that's because that's what they are.
I know, but it's hard to differentiate. And you're like, okay, well, I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do any of this stuff. And it seems like everyone just wants to make those types of games, or the majority of those types of games. And I'm like, okay, well, sometimes you feel like playing a Souls-like, sometimes you don't. I mean,
that's why I didn't get Neo 3, just because I was kind of burned out on Souls-likes. There's so many that release every fucking year. I was kind of burned out on them a little bit.
Days.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my God. It's like, everything is a fucking Souls.
Yeah, the game was called The First Berserker Kazan. I think you were combining that with the Prison of Azkaban from fucking Harry Potter. Because you said the first prisoner Kazan, so I think you were just combining that and the Prison of Azkaban. It's
what was that getting the prisoner? What was that Kazan guy? I don't know. There's 1,000 of them that keep coming out every year. Kazan,
yeah,
first
the
Berserker
first
Kazan,
first Berserker Kazan.
Yeah, I'm like, again, it just gets it just gets drowned in the sea of other souls like just
Yeah, because
like
I mean,
that.
there's that, and then there's a fucking Mortal Shell,
Yeah.
and I mean, every
Oh, I
time there's
couldn't.
some type of game,
Mortal Shell just drove me crazy. I tried that for a little.
Apparently,
yeah,
there's a
almost,
sequel coming out too, right?
yeah, almost every time there's a gaming event, there's going to be at least one Souls-like game announced at it. It's almost like it's like the gods have just destined it or decreed it to be. It just seems like we always get one at least every couple months.
I mean, do they all sell that well? Is the gaming community still so hungry for such a genre that all of these games
I'm sure they sell well enough. I'm also sure that the budgets for them are probably much smaller than your average AAA game. I mean, there's like no voice acting, next to no voice acting in all the fucking game, which that costs a lot of money. Um, and they usually aren't the greatest looking games. Like I don't think I've ever seen a Souls game where I'm like, holy shit, this is the most graphically impressive game I've ever seen. Even Elden Ring, which is beautiful from a art perspective, like the art style. It's same things like Sekiro or even Bloodborne. Like the art is great, but graphically, it's like this is mid at best. Like they're not really pushing anything in terms of that. So I imagine the budgets for them aren't insanely high, so they don't have to do insane numbers for them to be big successes for those studios. So this I would assume.
I mean, I agree. I mean, maybe it is not cheap. Maybe it's not too expensive for them to make, and they know that there is a market if executed well that will play it. I mean, Liza P found its audience after a while. They all do to a certain extent. Lords of the Fallen 2, as you said, Mortal Shell. That's just the ones I can think off the top of my fucking head. So there you go.
Yeah, I guess Elden Ring's budget was 200, which I think is quite a bit.
Well, I mean, Elden Ring, the reason I think it had that budget was because it was warranting that budget because they sort of proved themselves, like From Software, the originator. So if anyone's going to sort of like be able to sort of like add something to the genre that it was not there before, it would have been them, and that's what they did. And I mean, to this day, I still think none of these Souls like still hold a candle to that game. Period.
Yeah, I think it was also quite an expansive game when you comparatively when you look at all the other Souls likes that From Software has made. Like Elden Ring is a massive game by comparison.
Would you say most Souls like are corridorish?
Not corridor, but definitely not like open or semi-open. I mean, you've pretty much got it's like the old school like God of Wars and stuff, where it's very linear. You walk through a certain path, and maybe like sort of deviations, but they all kind of lead to the same place. They aren't large, massive open areas like Elden Ring.
Right. I've always felt like it's like you feel like you're sort of going. That's the thing. You sort of you feel like you're going down one road or one pathway. Yes, there is a little bit of stuff on the sides that you can do, but it's still that one main pathway. And that's what
that's the way like a Neo or Black Myth Wukong, that's the way they are. It's you walk down the one path. Again, there may be some slight deviations along that path, but for the most part, it's just the one path.
Yeah, linear. And so, I mean, I just don't know. I mean, like,
which is fine especially for those games, but they can't all be Elden Ring, but.
And the Souls like has to be executed really well. Like sometimes, like if it's not executed really well, it doesn't become hard. It just becomes frustrating, and it just like you just lose interest after a while. You can only get your ass kicked so many times until you keep standing back up. After a while, you're like, fuck, So
that's what your wife said the other night. It's not becoming hard. It's just getting frustrating.
She says that every night. What are you saying the other night? She just says that every night. Anyhow. All right. Okay. So, ROG Xbox Ally X price hike hits Australia now. 1,800 Australian dollars. Doll hairs. What the fuck is the world coming to, man? The Switch is going up in price. Everything. What the fuck is the world coming to? I mean, like, are they trying to sort of like cause the crash? It sometimes feels like some of this bullshit. They're like, okay, we were expecting a gaming crash. The shit ain't happened. Let's see how we can, stimulate things.
Did you?
I mean, it is Australia.
Yeah, everything's really expensive in Australia.
If it starts in Australia, it's going to go up here. I mean, I'm just waiting for them to say, okay, we're going to increase the price to like $1,200 or some shit like that, And At this point in time, I mean, it's gotten to the point with gaming right now, like, and this is saying a lot coming from me. It's like you get to a point where like, just fuck it. I'm just gonna pay $5,000, get myself a goddamn big ass PC, and if I can play the game on the goddamn thing, I'll play it. If I have to wait a year to play it, I'll fucking wait a year and play it. At least I know it's gonna run well.
But I mean, not that the price is okay, but the Ally X also isn't intended for casual gamers. It's on the premium end of that type of device for people interested in that type of device.
Yeah, but
unfortunately, though, it does fall with the architecture that they went with the ROG Ally X. All the other handhelds, if you go and you boost the power delivery, like you put it in turbo mode or in performance mode, you actually see a gain, a significant gain in performance. On the ROG Ally X, you don't actually see that significant gain in performance because the architecture they went with is meant to give you solid performance at the lowest possible power because it is a portable. So it doesn't carry that. Some people are like, oh, well, I'm going to play it plugged in, so I'll just run it on turbo at this many watts. The architecture that it's built on, it doesn't actually give you the advantage that the other handhelds give you when you boost them. Unfortunately.
RPG88 says, hey, this shit ain't selling. Well, increase the price. I'll fix the problem. That sounds what it sounds like, right?
Well, I mean, that's Xbox mentality, though, right? Hey, we're having problems selling the S and the X, so we're going to make a new Xbox that's going to be 3 times the price. It's just like, the way they do things over there.
Oh, my God. I just don't know. Like what the fuck is going on with folks these days? Like, okay, here's the fundamental problem. Okay, I think gaming, well, console gaming was always a very small niche thing. It was because of all this. It was going up before then, but it really came to a head in 2020 when all of the people, everyone was stuck at home, everyone wanted to play, and then everyone wants to now, like, it's just like, I don't know. It's like everyone wants to go in and become a game developer or game this, but the numbers are not there. The numbers have never been there. I mean, like, if you're looking at a AAA game, on average, you can hope to sell maybe 30 to 35 million if it is a phenomenal success.
The problem isn't that the numbers are there. The numbers are there. The problem is that the production costs for games has gone up exponentially, as well as the development time for games has gone up exponentially. Now games are taking 5, 6, 7 years before you get a game a fucking year, a game every 2 years. And these were like major releases from these studios that were, teams comprised of like 15, 20 people. Now you've got teams of 100, 200 people, and they're taking 7 years to make a game. So I think the player base is still there. It's just, it's so much harder for these teams to basically get the return on investment with the games as they used to be able to.
And the money that these things make, that's what the thing that I don't understand. The money was never.
You spelled Blue Point wrong. Are you a teacher?
Not an English teacher. I thought they had an E at the end.
You wrote Blue Point. Hey.
I thought they had an E. Am I wrong with that? Sometimes I don't know. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, but yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. I get that, but at this point in time, I could see why gamers might get frustrated. Okay, I'm on the side of, okay, you know what? If you want to delay this stuff, that means you're going to have to further optimize these games and get more milk the hardware for what it was for. I'm all for it because this is bullshit. Like, it's straight bullshit. Okay, like, who's gonna pay $1,800 Australian dollars for this shit? Okay, I don't care. It's just it doesn't make fucking sense. I mean, at that point, you might as well go ahead and get yourself a desktop. True enough, it's not fucking portable. Who gives a damn? So it's just God, I mean, just people. It seems like like they're like, okay, fuck it, we're just going to force ourselves into a gaming crash. So I don't know what's going on.
Well,
I mean,
I'm tired of having this same discussion.
No, it's just like retire. Okay, so D47 says for a retired engineer guy spends $25K to put 1 terabyte RAM in one of his machines. I wish I had money to throw away like that. So I don't know. You always say,
I don't know if
it's $1,800 Australian dollars. That's a shit ton of money, man.
Yeah, but it's also a niche product. Like the handheld gaming PC is of all the I think platforms, the one that's most niche.
But
It's
what
it's
was
also
What
not
was it before the
necessary.
hike? What was
Yeah.
it before the hike?
It's
Was
like
it?
$700.
Was it?
No,
No,
Not in
it was-
Australia.
Not in Australia. I think it was 1,200 in Australia or 1,300 in Australia, maybe. I would
But
say.
see, it's a niche product. I mean,
Yeah.
it's seriously, you buy this so that you can say,
$200.
I have it.
So it's a
Because
Yeah.
status
I
symbol
have,
then more than anything else.
It's like
yes.
Meta raising the price of the glasses to $2,000. It's like cool story. No
I
one
mean,
buys Meta glasses.
Yeah.
if you have a terabyte of DDR5,
Mhm.
you unless you are an AI stack, you're not even using a quarter of that. I have 64 gigs of DDR4 and I encode 2-3 hour 4K videos with HDR and I don't even use half of that. I'm kind of kicking myself for getting 64 gigs instead of 32 because I've never seen my usage go over 32. Even when I've got my encoding running on one screen while I'm playing a game on the other screen, I've never seen it go over 32.
So what would be the ideal? 32?
Yes, 32 is the sweet spot.
Okay, cool. Okay. Well,
32, you could do any streaming, gaming you want to do, encoding you want to do. Like I said, 4K 60 with HDR, encoding it at 51 megabits a second. 32 gigs is perfectly fine. I've done that while playing a game, and the game uses like 6 gigs of RAM, and the rest is in VRAM. I'm using 6 gigs of RAM and 14 gigs of VRAM. It's all graphics now.
I think my Mac has like 48.
48?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're starting to see that Mac mentality pick up in the mainstream now because me and Paul were just talking about this. These weird numbers. I mean, it's always been 2, 4, 6, 8, 16, 32, 64.
Yeah, that's
Now we're
how I've been
seeing
used to it. Yeah.
now we're seeing 24 gigs. Now we're seeing 48 gigs and just these weird numbers. I mean, but if the system accepts it and you can get 48 cheaper than you can get 64, well, then more power to
needs
you.
a terabyte of RAM?
Like I said, unless you're running one of these AI data server racks, you don't. You're not even going to use 128.
I mean, my son had that many, 128, but it was because he was running a crypto farm out of our house.
My brother-in-law runs a Plex server for the family where he goes and he gets all these videos and stuff and he puts it on this server and everybody in the family has access to it.
What the fuck is my code for my app? God damn it! I've been promised that shit since January.
Okay, I can give it to you now because it's been over a month since I gave it to.
All right, DM
Paul.
it to me, man.
I will.
Right.
All I need is your Google handle.
All right, no problem.
And
I'll send.
You can't wait on it there. Wise. You have to use it within a very short period of time.
Oh,
but once you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
What time? What is the time frame? How fast do you have to log in? Quote unquote.
It was within a few hours, if I remember right. I mean, seriously, it was just short.
And I'm only allowed to give one invite a month as a VIP.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is once we log off for the night, I will text you, and then you can just email it to me or text it to me back.
Because I don't know if you know this, KY, but that timer counts for as soon as you get the code, not as soon as you give it to him.
Oh. All right. What was I saying? Oh, anyway. So my brother-in-law runs this. It's basically a media server from his home for everybody else in the family, and it's a Plex server, and we all connect to it, and we get everything that he puts on there. He can service our house and his parents' house, and he's only got 32 gigs of RAM running a 4070 Ti. 32 gigs of RAM. Terabyte is unheard of unless you are a corporation.
Yeah, I mean, of course they're gonna have to have
an end user. That's just stupid. That's just a flex. That's all that is.
That goes to show somebody doesn't really know what the fuck they're doing. They're just doing it because, hey, I can. Which doesn't.
Well, not only that,
sense.
But you
It's
know,
like
Paul
throwing
can attest
6
to this.
turbochargers on a Honda Civic. It's like, that's cool, you got
Or a
6, but
Prius.
do you really
Yeah.
need the extra 5?
And not only that, but Paul can attest to this. Most of your motherboards, your mainline consumer motherboards, 128 gigs of RAM is what you're capped at. If you
Yeah.
got a motherboard that's going to run a terabyte, he's paying $800 to $1,000 for just that motherboard to put that
Fuck.
RAM on.
Fuck. No fucking way. No.
Just because it makes his
no
nipples
fucking
hard
way.
when he sees his RAM utilization is at like 0.00004%.
Exactly.
When he's playing Cyberpunk at max settings.
While he's streaming it at max settings, he's using like 0.05%. He's like, yeah, but I spent this much money.
While simultaneously hacking into NORAD.
Exactly. I got it. 1 terabyte of RAM. What? Why are you doing that? Oh, because it makes cloud gaming run perfectly. What the fuck?
1 terabyte of RAM. That's using all 4 slots with 256 gig sticks in each slot.
Oh shit.
That's stupid. That's
No,
oh,
people
that's
do
stupid.
it, but you see, the thing is this, right? You have these folks, and I know that I'm friends with many of them. They don't know a shit about this stuff. Like, I'll tell you, I'll be the first to tell you that, hey, I don't know shit about this stuff, right? To guide me, because I don't want to be buying things that I don't need. But they'll just buy it. They'll say, what's the most I can have? Oh, 1 terabyte. Okay, give it to me. What's the most memory I can have? What's the best card I can have? Oh, a 5090. They don't care if that shit is even used. They just do it because it's like the most expensive thing to do, you know?
And I guarantee you the manufacturer is not making a motherboard that can run that much RAM for something that's considered a consumer end CPU. Like, that is definitely not a motherboard made for an 8-core 16-thread CPU. That is a motherboard made for a 64-core or a 128-core Threadripper.
And see, these are the subtle things that if you don't know, it will be wise of you to ask somebody. What is the point of having all this fucking RAM that's just sitting there and being underutilized? You are just basically quite literally flushing money down the toilet, money that you could have spent better elsewhere. You know, maybe getting a better box or whatever, right? You know,
to give you a perspective, if I'm playing a game and I'm also got OBS Studio open and I'm streaming that game while I'm playing it at 4K 60 HDR. I have a Ryzen 9 5950X. That's a 16-core 32-thread processor.
Yeah.
I've never seen that processor unless I'm running a benchmark like Cinebench. I've never seen that processor in normal use, playing a game and encoding and streaming it to YouTube. I've never seen that processor over 30% utilized unless I'm running a benchmark that is designed to push it to 99% and benchmark it. That's just
well, RPG88
that's crazy.
Said bragging rights on Instagram, basically. That's what he said.
Oh yeah, that's definitely that's social media bragging rights.
And that's how, you know, you go on TikTok, look at my build. I got this, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck are you gonna do? Oh, I'm playing Minecraft. What the fuck? Like, what the shit? You know? Come on, you know, seriously, you know, it's egregious what some people do. I mean, this is why I say to folks, it's no harm asking questions. It's okay to say to folks, hey, you know what? This is not in my wheelhouse. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Help me. Nobody's going to insult you. You just because something like, I mean, here, I'll tell you how naive I was. But back before the 5,000 cards were out, the 4,000 cards, I was looking at it, and then I did not know that. I thought I was in that foolish assumption that the 4090 would be the best card. But according to Lemon, it wasn't the 4090, it was the 4080, because the 4090 just would go underutilized if I was just using it solely for gaming. So, yeah. I mean, again, I would never have known if I had never asked.
The 4080 Super and the 4090, the only difference is clock speed, amount of VRAM, and the CUDA cores that it has, which is going to equate to maybe a little higher frame rate, like maybe 20 frames, but you're already running the game at over 100 frames a second with a 4080 Super. The 4090 is just,
Well, after how
I don't
many?
know.
After how long does like your eyes cannot perceive any perceptible difference in this shit? You know?
Now. I will say, I was playing a game, the last Caretaker on Steam. I was playing it with an uncapped frame rate, and when I was just playing the game, I was playing it. I was averaging like 130 frames a second, and my refresh rate on my big screen back here is 144. So with VRR, so I was seeing all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And but 144 frames a second when you're using NVIDIA's HEVC encoder, you that uses a lot of your CPU, and you need to give it a little bit of headroom so you can use the encoder at the same time when you start streaming. So when I started streaming my gameplay, I started getting encoder overload errors in OBS. So I had to bump down my frames. I had to cap it at 60 to give my GPU some headroom
Mm-hmm.
to allow the encoder to use some of the resources. And I can honestly tell you, when I bumped it down to 60 the first time, and it's a first person game, at the first time I went to turn to the side, I thought my mouse settings had changed because it seemed so much slower, the turning.
Yeah, but then that's like saying, okay, so I'm in the everyone knows famously, like I'm in the market for a truck, right? They always say, do not drive the Raptor R before you drive the Raptor, because if you drive the Raptor R, you're not fucking going to buy the Raptor, which is the V6 variant. So it's the same fucking thing, you know. It's like, see, I'm used to, or I'm accustomed to 30. When we bumped last gen to 60, and now getting more consistent 60. I'm okay with that. I mean, like we were talking about, like this off air, right? You know, I come from a generation where the fucking game stuttered, and we blamed it on the console. We said it was Nintendo hard, and then when we lost because of the fucking stuttering, we said the game was cheating. You know, so the fact that I can get 90% of my game running at 60 FPS, for me, coming from what I'm coming from, that's a plus. Now, I mean, again, if I probably, as you said, you know, if I went up to 120, I probably would see a discernible difference, but I probably won't know the difference until I go back down to 60 again. Does that make sense? So like,
Yeah, it does, because after like 60 frames a second felt like it felt like a dream to me on when I would get it on console. And then when I got my 4080 Super, I was able to pull off the hundreds of frames a second. And I was like, yeah, you know, I mean, it's smooth, but I don't really feel that difference. And I was playing with a gamepad. I wasn't playing with a mouse and keyboard unless it was a real-time strategy game. It didn't seem to me like it was mind-blowing. It was smooth, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't mind-blowing like you would expect double the frame rate that you're used to.
right.
And like I said, when I began to stream my gameplay and I had to give my GPU a little headroom, I capped it at half the frame rate, which is 60, which on console I still thought was the cat's pajamas, and it felt so slow. After about 45 minutes, I finally adapted to it and I got used to the 60, and it wasn't a headache, but I did tell the difference between 110, 120-ish and 60.
But to see, the problem with all that is the more complicated, the more shit gets complicated. Like, you know, once you start hitting those frame rates, especially if you want to play it on TV, you have to make sure it has VRR, it has HDMI 2.1, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it becomes a chore. And I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, again, everyone to each their own.
These aren't difficult things. When you purchase your TV, make sure it has VRR, and when you purchase your HDMI cable, make sure it's 2.1. These are one-time thoughts, and then you never think about them again.
And make sure your television, the peak brightness, is at least 1,000 nits. If you don't buy an HDR TV with at least 1,000 nits, then you're not actually getting a full HDR experience.
No,
some of them are crazy, like 2,000, 3,000 nits. That's the difference. That is the difference. It can go from dark to bright between pixels. At least 1,000 nits gives you the full HDR experience. I had a 6,000. Yeah, I had a 600 nit television out in the living room back when HDR became the big thing. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to get this TV because it's HDR compatible. my blacks still weren't black, they were gray, and I was like, okay, this is just not. I mean, yeah, it says HDR, but after about a week, that label kind of wore off because I didn't see the difference. Now that I'm actually using a television out there and in here, that the peak brightness is 1,000. I see HDR. I can tell immediately when I turn HDR off when I want to record some gameplay in standard. I can tell immediately when I turn it off. I'm like, ooh, that looks.
Okay, you
Yeah.
guys are much more
Yeah.
get really
I was
into
gonna
the
say
nitty.
that's why I prefer like micro LED TVs with like thousands of dimming zones versus an OLED.
Yeah, yeah,
See,
yeah. My Odyssey Neo G7, my 43-inch game on back here in the studio. It's uh it's a QD LED,
mhm.
and it's got like
Yep.
1,160 dimming zones with 1,000 nit max peak brightness, and I love it. It's day and night between anything else I have in the house, and I have a nice TV out in the living room, but it's not as good as this little one back here.
D487 says my thoughts on HDR is that it just amps up the brightness. I don't know.
No,
Like, you know
It
what?
no,
It's more
it
than that.
changes color, clarity, and all kinds of shit.
Guys, look.
yes,
Look,
when
it's 10 o'clock at night. I come home. I get a plate of food. I fire up my PlayStation or Xbox. I'm engrossed in a game. I don't fucking care how it looks. I don't care if every fucking pixel has is being rendered in 60 or 150 FPS. I got ray tracing on every fucking. I just want to play the fucking game. And to be honest with you, I'm so fucking tired. It doesn't even matter if it stutters a little bit to a certain degree. As long as it's
Yeah,
playable,
but-
I'm good. You know?
But certain
It's gotta
things
be
like what
playable
we were
and look
talking about
decent.
with
I'm not
the-
saying it's got to look like fucking crap. I'm not going to sit there and say I'm going to play Pragmata on my big fucking screen using my Switch 2. I'm saying, like,
Yeah,
if
but
it gotta
certain
look
things
decent,
we're talking about when it comes to dimming zones and shit like that. If you
Right.
don't have enough, you get massive amounts of ghosting when you're playing
well,
games or
yeah.
the halos around things, and it makes the games look muddy and look like shit.
So if
So I
you
mean, yeah,
yeah, to build on what Nova was just saying, you said it was RPG 88
Mhm.
that commented.
Yeah.
If
RPG88.
you don't have those specs, then to you, HDR is only going to be an aspect of brightness. That's it. If you do have those specs, HDR is so much more. Like, when I had my stream set to standard and I tried to play an HDR video, it looks so drab and the colors are so blah. It,
What?
yeah, it's just.
Also, wise.
Yes.
You would think that, yeah, when you go home, you just want to play a game, but you would think that you've done what you got to do before that,
Yeah, I mean,
As
of
far as
course,
setting
you,
up
you,
your
you
TV
do
and
what you got to
stuff.
do before that. But at the end of the day, like when you're playing a game, at the end of the day, we do all of this at the end of the day to get the best play experience that we can. But that's my question to you. Like, if it's 10 o'clock at night, you come home from a long day of work, you fire up your PC or PlayStation or Xbox or whatever.
yeah, but your console or platform of choice is only half the problem there, right? Like that's one half of the problem. The other half of the problem is what are you viewing that shit through? Just like you can have the most expensive receiver head unit or whatever it is for listening to audio, but if your speakers aren't good, it doesn't matter. You're not going to get any of the benefits of all the money you spent on that equipment. So if your PC is a beast or you got high-end consoles, but your TV's not up to snuff, you're not going to get everything you're trying to get out of that console
I mean,
or
yeah, like in
platform or
theory,
PC
if
or
you
whatever.
really want, like as you're saying, Super, like if you really want the best audio experience, you got to get yourself an amplifier. Then you have to have like an audio optic out to go into the amplifier that will separate the audio tracks into 7 channels, and then we'll go to the 7 separate speakers. Fuck that,
Yeah.
Yeah, but the days of that are going long gone. There's a lot of really really amazing
Yeah.
high end 7.1 Dolby Atmos soundbar
Oh
systems.
no.
That there are a couple of them that are pretty good.
My 5.1 soundbar system with my sub here, my 2 satellites here, and my soundbar in front of me, that is more than enough. I already get enough sounds coming from behind me that freak me out. I don't need
Yeah.
any more than that.
I'll do all that
there,
shit.
there's a lot that have brought the barrier to entry for something like that or that type of experience into an incredibly accessible area where you can get something that is phenomenally good for sub $3,000.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I-
it's just like, okay, I
the
can
more-
do all that shit, and then my wife will like, turn that shit down, it's too loud. I'm like, okay, put on my fucking headphones
Oh,
again,
yeah,
so everything is for
Yeah, like when I
That's
when I
where you
first
say,
put that
shut up, bitch, I worked all day.
when I first put that 5.1
No,
soundbar
fucking
system
no.
back here in the studio, and I had got the little, I got like the sub. I guess it's about a 1 foot by 1 foot cube on
Yeah,
the
it's a little
floor.
8-inch woofer.
And so I'm sitting back here and I'm playing, and my wife comes around the corner through the laundry room, and she's like, I can hear that bass through the entire house, and I'm like, really? So what do? I had to go, and I was running through HDMI audio, and you can't equalize sound through HDMI audio. I had to download the Sonic Studio on my PC so I could drop the bass. And it's like, and back here, I still feel like I got plenty of bass, but the rest of the house doesn't hear it with me. But before we move on to what's next, I do, I guess me and Super, we've kind of ruined ourselves because I guess if I didn't have the hardware, if I hadn't gotten the hardware to fully utilize HDR, then I wouldn't see the difference as clearly as I do now. If I still had the TVs that I had, then to me it would be like, oh look, yeah, it supports HDR plus. But now when I start something up and it's not in HDR, I'm like, oh, this looks
Yeah,
not
everything
as
it's almost like washed out in comparison. The vibrancy is
yes,
just completely different once HDR is on.
yeah.
It is what it
And
is. I feel like RPG 88 just said, does it look good? Does it run good? Cool, send it.
Yeah, but listen, at the same time, if all you've ever been with is 6s and you've never been with 8s and 9s, then 6s is great.
That's what
Once
I'm
you've
saying.
been with once you've been with some
All you need in life is a moderately ugly bitch. That's it. That's all you really
Oh, I just completed my pre-order of the deluxe edition of Requiem. And I pre-ordered UFOphilia also.
Oh
Sounds
yeah,
like a,
with UFOphilia, did they
sexual
fly you
disease.
to an island and
No, so it's made by the
It's
people
a-
that made
the traffic spaceships.
Phasmophobia.
what?
How you play a ghost hunter? You sing
Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia?
Yeah,
Yes.
phasmophobia. Not phasmophobia.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious 15
It's the
Phasmophobia.
it's the same kind of game, but you're going to locations that have had alien activity, and you have to use devices and stuff to catch them on camera and video. And I watched the trailer on Xbox Live. It's actually kind of freaky.
Yeah, nobody fucking cares.
Like the guy was walking down a hallway, and he panned the camera over, and there's an alien standing there. He just kind of looked straight real quick and kept walking.
As they do.
Who gave me the hand?
You gave yourself the fucking hand, not me. You got the
How
hand.
do I give myself the hand?
Lower hand? Okay, there you go. I got you. Lower
That's
hand.
what
All
she
right.
said.
All right, so let's go into our. Okay, first of all, before we go into our main topic, Triple, my
It's
man,
our
how's
first
life, big
topic.
homie?
I'm here. Yeah. Yeah. I've been good. Just had a long work day today. So, but in terms of what I've been playing, Dead Space,
How do your knees feel?
fine actually. I did a lot of walking today because I do photography, so I hardly ever need to bend down for something. But
That makes
but-
sense because 3-bit does for photography too.
What was
There
that
you go.
line? What was that line in Clerks? 52.
I don't
y'all
know the
never saw
reference.
Clerks?
No, I can't say.
Oh, I
When
love
I was, like,
Clerks. 1-2 entry.
14.
What was that line with what was it? 100 about that girl who needed.
How'd you just add 48 to the number? It was
The answer
52
is
6 minutes ago.
42.
I don't remember the exact number. It was like the number of blowjobs she did or something like that. I don't remember what the exact number was.
Oh,
but
no.
yeah.
But
That's a
just
low
lastly,
number.
real quick, just to get this out of the way, been playing Dead Space. Hopped into Overwatch with the whole renaming of Overwatch
Still?
and Overwatch. Still in Dead Space or Overwatch?
Overwatch.
Oh, I never really was that big into Overwatch. I probably watched more videos over the game than actually played it. But with the update that's came out and getting back in the news cycle, I just figured to hop back into it. And playing through Dead Space, trying to get through my Impossible Plasma Cutter only playthrough. So that's been fun.
For the
And,
remake.
That
Yeah.
sounds like horror.
Oh, it's
Horrific.
great. It's great.
No, it's oh no, it's not.
Ah man, no, it's one of those experiences when you're like, if I fuck up, it's over. Because if no one's familiar, if you die on impossible mode, you got to start to save all over again. And so I'm limiting the weapon that I can use, and I'm also, well, if I die, then I'm screwed. So
At least it's not permadeath. At least you got fucking checkpoints or save points or whatever.
oh, if I wanted to, I could just what was it, save scum if I really wanted to, if I really get cut off. So there is that option, but yeah, it's great. It's great.
All right, so let's go to one of our topics that are big tonight, and it is Blue Point. And I got a little bit to say about this, and then I'm going to open up.
I got a lot to say about it. So let's
First
go.
of all, it came out this week that Sony is shuttering Blue Point, and there was a tweet sent out by Herman Holtz, basically with PR speak, saying that thank you for your services. Get your pink slip and get the fuck out.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Son of a
Services, the
bitch.
locks have already been changed. Yeah.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here anymore.
Keep the key card as memento. It won't work.
So,
You know, whatever.
yeah.
You know,
You can't even grab a soda from the vending machine on the way out. Just get the fuck out.
Just go. But I did just go. But I just go. All your shit's to the left, to the left, to the left.
Yeah.
It's in a box to the left.
You can pick the door. You can take the window. We don't give a fuck.
I can't believe they did that.
All right, so here you go. I knew about this about 3+ weeks ago. Usually when they do a prospectus and they announce a closure of a very prominent thing, they usually tell the investors to sort of because guess what? Investing is basically based off of feelings. And you do not want your investors to feel skittish because they will start pulling money. Therefore, we got something in our perspective. Well, my accountant, my broker did. And basically saying that, yes, we are going to be closed. We're going to be announcing the closure of this thing. There's about 70+ employees. However, a certain percentage of them have already been reabsorbed, but officially they are considered because they're being terminated. And the logic is that they're shifting platform from one that was you had one developer that just was responsible for remakes and stuff like that. They are dissolving them, and all of them were being absorbed. I would say they said that 85% of them, 80 to 85% of them were reabsorbed by other internal teams, mainly because just like Xbox has the coalition that does Gears of War, or 343 that just does Halo. That's sort of the same plan for PlayStation, because they've sort of got their IP set in stone. God of War is a PlayStation IP that they're going to milk. Tsushima and Yotai again is a IP they're going to milk. Now that's not to say they're going to make other IPs. They will, but this is an established IP that they're going to make iterations on. So if there is Santa Monica controls the God of War IP. So if there's a God of War remake like there is, yes, it's no longer going to be handled by Blue Point. It's going to be handled by Santa Monica, but it's the people who are in Blue Point are in Santa Monica there, and their task is just that. So yeah, again, when this shit comes out in the news, everyone is really up in pitchforks and say, oh my God, doom and gloom, go ahead and invest in cigarettes and alcohol because the world's come to a fucking end. Nah, not really the case. Yeah, they had to announce it because Blue Point is closed. But then really the only people who lost their job were its office staff, support staff. So janitors and the secretaries and whatever, those types of.
By the way, this goes back to what I always say every time we get this news, that a lot of these people get reabsorbed.
Yeah. So
Even
it's anonymous. It
Microsoft
was
does the same
70
thing.
people. There was I think close to 65 of them were reabsorbed. The few that left, one left because he didn't want to relocate, or he or she didn't want to relocate. One of them retired because they're like, I'm done. I'm good. And those who left in perpetuity got a very, very, very nice severance package. I mean,
And they have a long history with working
Very
with the God of War franchise.
Yeah.
They did all the the Vita games or the PSP games. I forgot which one.
Mhm.
They helped do support for Ragnarok. So
But yeah, Blue Point, to me, Blue Point has been very instrumental since their acquisition. The Blue Point's been very instrumental with all of their PC ports, many of their remasters. That's why everybody was excited when they found out that the Demon Souls
Mhm.
remake was going to be done by them. It's just, I don't know. It's like I'm trying to think of a similar type of studio on the other side of the aisle that would get shut down, and you would think to yourself, why would you do that? You can't be spending a lot of money on that studio
I mean,
because they are.
we
Tango.
did with the Hi-Fi Rush studio. Yeah.
Yeah, Tango. Exactly. It's the same one.
Tango was doing new IPs and new development. Tango wasn't going back and just taking an old IP and an old game and regurgitating it with new color, with the new skin, which is what Blue Point has done many times up until this
Almost
point.
exclusively. Yeah.
It was
Yeah, almost exclusively.
if you want to blame anybody for this closure, which it's not a big deal, but if you really want to point a finger, if somebody is liable, it would probably be Jim Ryan. And because, he was the one who really wanted to shift towards that live service model and sort of forced Blue Point to do it. And then when Blue Point was supposed to be working on a game, they did not tell me what game it was, but then it was a situation where they pivoted to that. But then when everything shifted back to their normal status quo of games, Blue Point was between projects. And then they said, okay, well, wouldn't it be just better if the company that made the IP handles the remake, and then we could just give the Blue Point developers to those people, to those companies, and we can save office space, we can save rentals or whatever, or we can sell the land and we can get rid of the office support staff, the janitorial staff. It's just more efficient of a process. So it makes common sense. And I mean, of course, it doesn't sound good on PR that you're closing a prominent studio, but at the end of the day, nobody really, there was no harm, no foul. The people who sort of left, except, again, office supports, I'm not trying to demean the secretary or the janitor's job, but yeah, when we talk about these people losing jobs,
They can scrape gum off the bottom of tables somewhere else.
Exactly. It's just like, did they really lose 70 people? Not really. They lost 5.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I guess they're going to lose 5 anyways.
If a lot of the staff hadn't been reabsorbed, I think I would have been a little more upset. But if they've been reabsorbed into Santa Monica, then I do think it makes sense. Like I said last week, I think that this remake is more than likely a pivot off of the cancellation of that Greek era live service game where they already created so many of the assets that now it only makes sense to, we've already dumped X amount of millions of dollars into making this live service game and creating all these assets and art and this, that, the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit, what do we do with it? Well, people want remakes of the Greek era game. Blue Point's already got a bunch of this shit made. Fucking absorbed them into Santa Monica. Now Blue Point isn't making, because if you say the Blue Point is making the remake, it sounds good, but when it's Santa Monica's making the remake, I think it sounds better.
It sounds much better.
Now it's not a remake made from Blue Point, it's a remake made from Santa Monica via Blue Point, essentially.
Right.
And that's not to say that I always would have liked to have seen Blue Point make their own new IP game, because they've done so many of these remasters and remakes and things like that. But that's not to say they can't still kind of do the same thing there. We know that they've got other games they're working on there that are not existing IP, or that they're at least in pre-production on, or whatever. So it's not to say that they couldn't still do something like that in the future, but I do think that's the one downside. For me personally, is I really would have liked to have seen, because they're a clearly talented studio, what they could have done had they just been given the time and money to say, hey, go make something that is uniquely your own, instead of repackaging or putting a shine on something that somebody else created.
Well, that may not always work out, right? Because just because you're
not
good at
necessarily,
remaking something doesn't
but
mean you can make your own IP per se.
I mean, if you're a good studio, you're a good studio. Like,
Well, it's the same. It's the same
games
story
are-
as the people who did that TV show on Xbox on
Demon
HBO.
Souls, the Demon Souls remake was a from the ground up remake. They rebuilt that entire game, and
They
it's great.
rebuilt it,
So
but there was a precedence for that game. They didn't.
it
have
doesn't
to really
matter.
recreate
Someone
content. They just had to
had
up-res
to.
the content.
They still no. They had to recreate entire combat systems. They had to recode everything. They didn't just put new skins on top of everything. They rebuilt the entire game from scratch.
But the skeletal framework
I-
was there. That's what I'm trying to make you understand. Yes, the implementation of that skeletal framework was totally different, but at the same time, the skeletal framework.
I'm talking in terms of like functionality wise, like and how the game looked and functioned. Now, in terms of like art style and things like that, okay, well, that existed before, right? There's that I agree with. But in terms of whether or not they could make a good game, I think they were clearly competent enough to make a at least on its face well functioning game on their own. In terms of, do they have the creativity to make something again without giving them the opportunity? How the hell would we ever fucking know? They were never given the opportunity. It was like, here, make fucking Shadow of the Colossus. Here, make these fucking remasters of these PSP games. Here, make fucking Demon Souls. Here, I think they did Metal Gear Solid 3 or some other shit they made. It's like, here, go remake this, remake that. They were never really given the opportunity to see what they could actually do. And so what? If they did something and it didn't, I would have much rather have given them, extended a little bit of rope and say, make something. And if it failed, it failed. And then we arrived where we are today versus blowing fucking $500 million on Concord.
Yep.
They were
which also an unproven studio who hadn't done anything.
Exactly.
Blue Point was kind of like, I mean, so far Blue Point had proven to be their kind of Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Sitting in the corner. Anything you need me to do, I'll do it, and I'll do it good. I saw something on social media earlier, and it kind of made me chuckle a little bit. And I would actually believe this over they were just shut down over a business financial review. That's somebody put in social media that they found unsanctioned Xbox development kits that were already running first-party hardware in their studio.
What?
I would believe that. I would believe that rumor more than, oh, we just decided to get rid of them because of a financial review. I mean, really, how much were they really costing you?
Well, you don't understand. It's not that what they were really costing them, but they would make more money if they did not have to pay for the office space. I mean, that's real estate.
Well,
that's like that just like, if you're gonna.
But no, you don't understand.
What would Blue Point do? Blue Point is like Nixie's. It's a support studio. Yes, they do make their own. They do make their remakes, and they do a damn good job. So does Nixie's when they port something to the PC. However, it still doesn't escape the fact that it's a fucking support studio. You know, that's what they do. They
need support studios,
huh?
You need support studios.
I'm not saying you don't, but the question is, do they need their own office space, or can you just hire more people in the original studio that is making the game to support the studio?
I don't know.
I mean, like, if you're looking at hiring more people, that's just payroll. If you're looking to create another developer, then you're looking at payroll, you're looking at office space, you're looking at a whole lot of other expenses that get into factoring, because with the office space, you got to buy like insurance and all that other shit. And I mean, you're talking about, okay, it's $1 billion company. What the fuck do you care?
You got to create a name. You got to trademark the name. A whole bunch of shit. Logo design.
Exactly. I mean, people are like,
you sold 100 million consoles. What do you care?
It's like, oh yeah, but you see, they don't become $1 trillion company by just fucking like closing their eyes and just fucking throwing money left and right and seeing what sticks. You know, they got to be be aggressive, because every line item is being analyzed, and there are people who have a lot of investment, especially the people who are sitting on the boards, who will be saying, okay, do we really need to be expending all of this capital, even though we can afford it? Could we not get the same result in a more economical manner? And that's what they did. And it's just like, you can't fault that, because that's business. That's what businesses do. You know, if I can get the same fucking thing for $5 cheaper, I'm going to go for it. Even though it's $5 fucking dollars, it doesn't matter.
Wize, I need to stop you, Wize. Wize, you are legitimizing Herman Holst's bullshit explanation and thank you to Blue Point that he put out today.
What do you mean? They closed a company. They didn't fire the developers. The developers still have a job for the most part. It is not like 70 people got their walking papers. I think at most 4 or 5 people got their walking papers, and because that was their choice. And when they got their walking papers, they got a nice parachute for that paper. Hell yeah! Who the fuck wants to work? Go ahead.
At the end of the day, they're the ones in charge of the shit, not us. So whatever decisions they make, it's entirely up to them. Like they get to choose what happens and what doesn't happen. We can complain about it, but it doesn't change anything.
I mean, there have been plenty of times where
real quick, I want to throw the whole, they got a nice parachute. You know what, though? That parachute only lasts for so long. You know,
it's a stock option parachute.
Doesn't matter if they have to live off it for an extended period of time. It doesn't, in the end, okay, you know.
But it was the people who got the parachute chose the parachute. That's what I'm saying.
But it's usually the parachute or a pink slip. So.
Well, no, it was either parachute or relocate. And some people, just because of their family situation, could not relocate. And that was fair.
And that might be,
go ahead.
In this case, sure. But the parachute isn't, with the exception of the golden parachute that executives get.
Right.
That they can literally live off for the rest of their life. These parachutes for the regular worker are only good for like 6 months to a year, maybe.
Yeah. It's like, here's a coupon for Chick-fil-A for the next 6 months. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, what they had to do was they were contracted. These were contracted employees.
Oh no, I get.
And they had to buy out the contract, and they gave them a certain percent. I can't tell you I wish I could tell you the exact everything I know about this whole fucking thing, but I can't. So yeah, they're like they got a certain percentage on top of them, basically being their whole contract, however many months or years they were contracted, was paid to them in advance plus a certain percentage on top. And that's
Look,
a pretty fucking good ask.
At the end of the day, whether Blue Point makes a game or Santa Monica makes a game that's really Blue Point, I don't care as long as a game gets made and it's good.
Well, Rich Christian says that they haven't produced nothing since Demon Souls. That was because of Jim Ryan, because they were planning on doing the next. They were basically looking for the next thing to remaster, and Jim Ryan said, "Well, no, we're going to put you on this type of thing." So
I thought the original news was that after Demon Souls, they were going to be given the leeway to make their own original IP, and then it was like, nah, never mind. We're doing live service shit. Make a fucking live service game, you fucking bitches. Make
when the whole live service thing went in, when Jim Ryan sort of came in and sort of like started like sort of taking a machete to everything and saying live service this, live service that. They were one of the victims of it. They're like, no, you're not going to do the next remaster or whatever, because they were going to pitch another remaster. But they were like,
and
no.
His dumbass should have looked over at Xbox and saw when they were like, put multiplayer in everything, and it didn't work for everything.
Well, around that time was when the whole fucking COD and the Activision ABK shit was going on.
But again,
and Jim
like
was in panic mode.
Monkey do it. They're like, oh, people want this thing, so inject this thing into everything. It doesn't matter if it makes sense for the project. Put it in the project. And that's what we saw with the injection of multiplayer into everything. And it took Xbox a little bit to figure out that it doesn't need to be in everything. And then Jim Ryan did the same shit with fucking live service. Oh, people love live service. Live service needs to be in everything. It's like, no, it doesn't, dude.
Right. I mean, again, nobody really lost their job. I'm not sitting here and crying for the secretary. I'm sorry. I'm not crying here for the janitor. I'm sorry that he lost his job, but he'll find something to janitor somewhere else. Trust me, he'll be fine. But I mean, if you want to point a finger, it's Jim Ryan's fault. Okay, if you really want to point a finger, it's Jim Ryan's fault. If you want to say this is a fault to somebody, but it's not really it's like, it's a nothing burger. It's like, okay, nobody lost their job because they officially, I don't know. It's just like nobody lost their job.
Oh, you don't know that. You really don't know that.
I do know that. That's what I'm trying to make you understand. They had to tell us that because Blue Point is when investing is a emotional sport, is an emotional situation. You do not want to spook your investors. When you tell somebody Blue Point is one of their marquee one of their big things. And when you shutter a studio, you tell them the reasons why, because you don't want them to say, oh, okay, this is just a harbinger of more studio closures to come, which means that the health of the business is not good. No, they said no, the health of the business is really fucking fantastic. That we're pivoting the business model and we're doing this.
At the same time, Wise, they would never ever mislead investors, right? Like they're always 100% honest with the investors.
They legally cannot. If they do, then they could be sued out the gang. Because there's where
they skirt that shit all the time.
Well, I mean, of course, there's a way to skirt that shit all the time, but you got to go on good faith to a certain extent, right? Like it's fucking Microsoft, To be honest with you, not Microsoft, but it was PlayStation. To be honest with you, Blue Point probably was just a fucking rounding error in their grand scheme of it all.
Sony stock is trending down over the last week.
Well, it doesn't matter what the week is. You're looking at the longevity. Longevity is still 15%.
Over the last week, it's lost 6.4%. It's lost in the last 7 days.
But the 2 year is still is close to 13%, which is decent. That's what I'm saying. The 2 year is still 13%.
Yeah, the dial goes up, the dial goes down.
Yeah,
the dial
and
goes
that
back
just
up
you
again.
can't stop that fucking thing. You can't say, "Oh, okay, this week it's plummeting." Well, you got to look around you, look at the environment.
Unless the bottom
over the last 5 years, it's gone up 0.09%,
which correlates to a 12% increase in the past 2 years, which is pretty darn good, if you ask me. Anything above 7% is pretty darn good because you can get.
If you look at just 1 year on Robinhood, it's minus 11%. Just 1 year.
You don't go by 1 year for these stocks. These stocks are longitudinal stocks. You don't buy Coca-Cola for what happens in the 1 year. I mean, you'll be stupid to do so. I mean, Coca-Cola, like there were a couple of years where Coca-Cola itself has been in the negative. McDonald's.
And I also know by playing the stock market. I'm sorry, Nova. I'll be quick.
No, you're good.
I also know because I do.
Have you looked at the candlesticks of that guy, of Sony though?
I have.
And what are the candlesticks looking like?
I have a lot invested in crypto and in various stocks.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you only really make money in the stock market when a stock splits and then grows back to what it was before it split. That's when you really make money. And if you're not
you get a twofer, basically.
If you're not in Nvidia or some crazy AI stock right now, then you're not making any money. You're just
because that's
it's
the bubble
basically
right
like
now.
a savings account. You're not.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but Microsoft and Sony have been stuck. Their stocks have been stuck at this certain level for so long, and they just stay there. It's just like a savings account. What you put into it, you're going to get out of it.
Is it better than the 2% that you would get from a standard savings account at a bank?
Yeah, but we're also talking about companies that have been around for 30, 40, 50 years. Like it's not like these are new emerging companies where you can
you got to get in on
been
something
around
like
this long. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
you got to get in on something like Big Bear AI or Cardano or XRP or something like that. Something that's new, that's been new in recent time and is just starting to really get adopted by the technology.
Yeah, if you're putting anything into any currently popular or long-standing company, the chances of it going up are probably a lot less likely than the chances of it going down.
Yeah,
versus something that's brand new.
Again, but what you're looking for is totally different. I mean, if you're looking for an aggressive growth, then you have to sort of stick your neck out on the line. If you're looking for like long-term longitudinal growth of approximately 10%, then you do blue chips and stuff of these types of longitudinal stocks. I mean, like for example, do not have based off my portfolio, I do not have an appetite for risk anymore because of my age. I want something that's growing, but something that's steadily growing, but that does not have risk. And if it gives me dividends, I'm happy with that. And that's the thing. So that's what I'm looking for. Something that pays me a dividend and something that grows longitudinally. It may not go skyrocket to 15%, but then I'm not going to wake up the next fucking morning and it's going to be like a penny stock all of a sudden again. And that's the problem with these upstart stocks. That's, half the time, I don't even know what the fuck they do. They just say they're out there now in IPO, and you're like, okay, well, fuck, what do you do? And you're like, It is what it is. So, and D47, is it more like a bank interest or something? Okay, so D47, though, if as long as you can get a stock that beats inflation, you're good. The problem with basic savings accounts, most savings account, depending on how much you're putting in, is only going to give you 1 to 1.5%, or if you're lucky, 2%. I don't know of any savings account, unless you're amassing a good amount of money, that's going to give you above 2% or above. And normal inflation is 2%. So you're looking for something that gives you an ROI that is more than 2%. Because if you just keep it in the bank, all the bank is doing is making sure that your spending power is the same, that the $100 that you spend will grow to a certain point where it still spends like $100 5 years later. So as long as you can find something that it gets you higher than the inflation rate, you're good. That is why most companies, the cash on hand is a liability, because it's actually losing money. So there you go. But but it is what it is. I mean, like they have their reasons. I mean, when I looked at it, I was like, okay, well, it'll probably be nothing anyway. So, and it was like it was a total of 70 people at most, and it is what it is. I mean, again, I feel sorry for the secretary. I feel sorry for the janitor, but I mean, hey, I don't know. I don't know how to follow that shit up. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel sorry for the janitor.
If you look at it, but at the same time, if you look at it like that, you got the secretary and the janitor. If those people are going to other studios, there's going to be more shit to clean up. So the janitor's going to have a job, and there's going to be more calls to receive and more workflow, more paperwork to account for. So the secretary is going to have a job too.
Exactly. So everyone works out in the end. So
it's like when they have the big. It's like when they have the big mergers, some of the office staff goes bye-bye because they don't need doubles up and everything. It's like,
yeah.
That's just the reality of it.
I was trying to paint the scene with a silver lining, Paul.
Oh.
All right, y'all ready?
Ryan.
Y'all ready? All right. Well,
I'm ready.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Okay. Just came out of the wires today, hot off the presses. Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond Phil Spencer has retired. Sarah Bond has resigned as CEO of Xbox. And the new lady is Anita Shaw, I think is her name.
No, Asha Sharma.
Asha Shaw.
Asha
Shaw. Yes.
Sharma.
Asha Sharma.
So, and so what happened was Nadella was on Twitter.
He was at a family picnic, and he was like, "Oh, she looks like
Nadella
me."
was on Twitter, and it popped up. Hot Asians in your area. And he said, oh, okay, cool. And he found one. He's like, and she's like, well, I want more, daddy. And he's like, okay, what if I give you Xbox? I ain't doing shit. So there you go. Nadella's side piece. I'm just joking. It's not Nadella's side piece.
She actually has a really good background for business.
Yes.
I heard the back is pretty good too.
She has a good front too. Her back is not
She has been running Microsoft's entire AI division. And for somebody that uses Copilot, their AI division is pretty good. I'm going to be honest with you. And Phil has been nurturing her. She's been on his hip for the last 8 to 9 months. And he spoke very highly of her. And the email that she sent out to the team or to the corporation really has a lot of energy and has some good things in there. Like I said in the intro, she kind of came off as a little bit of a fanboy, which is kind of what Xbox needs right now. They need a homeboy and not somebody that's all kumbaya, because kumbaya doesn't gain you market share. So,
Yep.
We'll wait to see, though. Like one of my friends said to me today, talk is cheap. You've got to put it, you have to do what you say you're going to do. And we know that Phil did not go out on a good note. And I love Phil. Don't get me wrong. But just 5 titles will live in infamy.
Well, I mean, 4.
Phil would
Or yeah,
probably be
just 4 titles.
well. Yeah, what I'm going to say is really controversial, and most of you guys are not going to like it. But let me go ahead and say it.
I'm gonna say right off the bat before you even start,
boys
fuck
can't be
you.
girls.
Yeah, that too. But
Oh, girls are ruthless, dude, especially Indian girls.
oh yeah, they're really ruthless, especially when it really matters. So yep, the safety word is paomaji.
Oh my G, oh my G, oh my G, oh my G, bitch, oh my G.
Oh shit!
Did I stutter?
Yeah.
Oh my G, oh my G, I didn't stutter. That was as clear as it could be. Stop it, that hurts.
Oh shit! No, but I mean, so here's the thing. She comes from the AI division, and she's now speaking a good game. And as you said, she said, "Oh, I'm going to bring Xbox back to where it belongs." And what else did she say famously? Like,
Can I
AI
read
bullshit.
it? I have it.
Go ahead.
I have it on screen right now.
Go ahead.
She says, of course, a bunch of corporate speak because she says that this starts with 3 commitments. She says, first, great games. Second, the return of Xbox. Third, future of play. Now, the third part is the part I want to read because it's really what caught me off guard with what's really going on in the industry. And nobody's really come out and said it the way she said it. This drove it home for me. She said, we are witnessing the reinvention of play. To meet the moment, we will invent new business models and new ways to play by leaning into what we already have: iconic teams, characters, and worlds that people love. But we will not treat those worlds as static IP to milk and monetize. We will build a shared platform and tools that empower developers and players to create and share their own stories.
Okay, but she's
As
not a gamer.
No, let me finish. As monetization and AI involve and influence this future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. Games are and always will be art, crafted by humans and created with the most innovative technology provided by us.
Most
By the
innovative
way,
technology.
let me say something.
your shit.
Go ahead.
Let me say something real
Talk
quick.
your shit.
You said she's not a game. We actually don't know if she plays games in off time.
No, I'm just
She's hanging out with-
repeating what the
If she's hanging
general
out with
buzz
Phil,
was.
if
Go ahead.
she's hanging out with Phil, she could be part of his Diablo 4 crew. You don't know.
Yeah.
I just think this idea, what she says sounds great, but I think this idea of, oh, we're gonna bring Xbox back to the glory days, that's a pipe dream. That the Xbox that we knew during the 360 era, that whole model's gone.
Yes.
The brand in terms of the console, not the brand. I'm talking about the console itself. Like in order to get back to those glory days, you would need to have the console be like it was, to have true console and platform exclusives. I don't see them unless they do that. They're never getting back there, and I don't see them putting all their games exclusively on one platform.
But it could be a return to some of that form, not necessarily back where they were, but there's no reason that they have.
If you will bear with me, those who haven't read it should hear this second part. The AI slop and that portion that I just read, that was the third commitment that she said. The second one was she said the return of Xbox. We will recommit to our core Xbox fans and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years, and to the developers who build the expansive universes and experience that are embraced by players across the world. We will celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with the console, which has shaped who we are. It connects us to the players and fans who invest in Xbox and to the developers who build ambitious experiences for it. Gaming now lives across devices, not within the limits of any single piece of hardware. As we expand across PC, mobile, and cloud, Xbox should feel seamless, instant, and worthy of the communities we serve. We will break down barriers so developers can build once and reach players everywhere without compromise. And in her first commitment, she mentioned Xbox. She wants to take Xbox back to that renegade stature, that renegade approach that they first, because when Xbox first entered the fray, Sony had just beat out Sega. Sega was dead. Sega wasn't making consoles anymore. You had Nintendo and you had Sony, and Sony gave you the games that you expected, and Nintendo still gave you the same games, but they always kind of had kind of a filter to them, kind of a almost
A PG rating.
yeah, like a PG, like a G, almost a G
Okay.
rating.
Yeah.
You got Nintendo
It was like a
with
family-friendly device.
you got Mortal
D47 brings
Kombat
up a
with
big
sweat instead of
No.
blood.
Here's a question. This is a really good one if you want to think about the perspective from which he's coming from. Bringing Xbox back, as if Phil Spencer buried it. Did he bury it or not? So is this a
No,
Rubio
No, he
moment
didn't.
where they admit
I believe-
Xbox is dead and now there needs a revival? I don't know. So that is the thing. You're bring Xbox back.
No,
Was it dead?
listen. The brand is not dead. We always talk about this, but in terms of the console, I think we need to acknowledge that the console, for the most part, it's irrelevant nowadays.
No. You're sugarcoating it. You're sugarcoating Super. It is dead. The console narrative from Xbox is in generally a dead concept.
Yeah,
That's a black or white statement. It's not a black or white thing. It is gray. It is not dead, but it is for the most part wholly
it's not their
irrelevant.
primary focus now anymore. But,
But
it's
the
still
thing is,
being
this is what they've been telling us for years with the whole Play Anywhere initiative. This is an Xbox. That's an Xbox. Your refrigerator is an Xbox. So of course, what do people not do?
your Nokia
Buy
phone
an
from
Xbox,
2000
right?
is Xbox.
But so this is where we are. So and Phil did help get it there, and I don't know that she can dig it out of being there. I don't think that's possible at this point.
So, I mean, okay, so they did, there were a number of emails that went out today. There was an email that went out by Phil. There was one that went out with Asha. I'm really going to have to get used to saying that. Asha. There's an email that went out by Satya, Phil, Asha, Matt Booty. Then there was a little piece of one of the emails. I don't remember off point who it was, which email it was, but they did kind of reveal something. They mentioned 200 million monthly active users. We know for a fact that Xbox hasn't sold 60 million this gen consoles.
Yep.
But like I've said in previous streams, my son plays all the new games over the cloud on his One X.
But when you say active users, you're also talking about the people who are playing Xbox games on the PlayStation as well. So that is also an active user. So you can't say it's just Xbox adjacent devices like PC or whatever that they're playing on.
Well, who's to say that the PlayStation is not considered an adjacent device?
I'm not saying it isn't, but I mean, what I'm saying is these are all.
You just said it isn't.
No, what I'm saying is, how do we know they're just strictly Xbox adjacent devices? How do we know it's not like a PlayStation or like whatever games they have on Switch or Switch 2?
It's any active user.
Right.
Device is not even mentioned.
See, I don't think. See,
He didn't even finish his point. Let him finish his point.
Go ahead.
So I mean, you've got that many active users. If you're doing that on a PlayStation, then it is a first party game and you have paid full price for that game. So they have succeeded in what they ported that game to do. So there is a method to the madness of ending exclusivity. You are making more than enough. I've brought this up in streams before. As an engineer, I know software money goes to software. Hardware money goes to future hardware development. Your studios stay open when you sell many copies of games. when you sell a first party game that is only on one platform and you only sell 20 million copies of that game, you don't meet the cost to make that game. But when you release a game like Forza Horizon 5 that's 3 years old and it sells 65 million copies on another platform, guess what? We're getting a Horizon 6 like almost
Yeah, no,
immediately, sooner than I even thought we were going to get
I
it.
definitely believe because like I said, I don't think they're going back to exclusives ever. But I think if they leverage the studios they have, the talent they have, the capital they have, they could easily become, because they're already the largest publisher in gaming, they could easily become the premier publisher in gaming. It's not that difficult to say that that is a definite possibility. It's does that happen or not? But I think that when we hear the glory days of Xbox, we're thinking the console
Oh,
coming
yeah.
back to life.
See, I
And that's
think
what I'm saying. I think the console is
with-
dead and buried.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the
Let me
only
say one thing real quick. Let me say one thing real quick, and then
Sure, Paul.
I'm going to shut up for the rest of the
Sure,
show.
Paul.
'Cause
I want to
We're
hear you
making
for
him
the
angry.
next. I want to hear you for the next 10 minutes. 10 minutes straight, Paul.
We're
Give it
making
to me
Paul
10
angry.
minutes straight. Don't stop talking. I want to hear
give
it.
it to him
Give me that.
straight.
Give me that.
she has one opening, and that opening is the fact that Xbox's console.
No,
likes
she
to
has
come
3
out-
openings.
Stop.
Damn talk. I'm gonna stop.
5 if you count the years.
All right, go ahead.
Let him talk.
Look, the way she's talking about Xbox, and she may or may not be, she did mention the console. They do have a slight opening. I don't know how much they can take advantage of it. The fact that once again, they're going to be able to get their new hardware out for maybe a year before Sony gets its new hardware out.
It's looking like 2 years.
If it's 2 years, even better. So if they can do that right and price it right and advertise it right, for God's
Yeah.
sake.
If they can be the best place to play for 2 years without raping you over the coals on price, they have a shot at
Yeah.
reviving the console.
But they've already had that with. Go ahead.
Because, like I said last week, it'll because people get tired of waiting. At some point, they're going to get tired of waiting for the new PlayStation. They're just going to say, "Fuck it, it's what's out here. Let's go." You know, because 2 years is a long time in gaming space. You know,
No, 2 years. 2 years is a very, very long time for sure.
Especially when, I'm sorry to interrupt, especially when GTA 6 is expecting to release at the beginning of that 2-year time frame.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, Tribble,
That's
you were
gonna be
saying
a
something
big one.
before Paul started talking?
If I was really no, I think when it comes to bringing back the glory days of Xbox, I can see from the perspective of like, you want the console to be the main focus, but I kind of want to just understanding where Microsoft is going today is more so you want to have the tentpole franchises that did make up the console, but just primarily focus on the games that made Xbox. So to simplify it down to Halo was a hard hitter for Xbox, and it had a lot of people loving that game. And really, this comes down to producing first party games or just games in general that have people either we want to play it through the platform, whether it's PC, cloud, console, or through PlayStation, seeing as they put in all the games day one. But this primarily comes down to, are they talking about Xbox games primarily versus if we're just focusing on the console these days, because things have just changed. We can't just say the console is going to be the main focus. That's just not where they are right now. For me,
that's not what they actually said either. But you know,
no, I was just going off of what Super was saying with the when she was talking about bringing back the glory days of Xbox. And for myself, I just simplified it down to just you making franchises that people want to play. And
Exactly.
where we are today is just
I think she's talking in terms of like the brand, not the console, because even though even though Xbox is, you know, as a brand is doing, you know, well, it's definitely taken a large nosedive in the last generation.
yeah.
Oh, you
to
don't
where-
say.
Well,
I mean, like,
okay,
'cause
let's,
that's-
okay, I need to correct you
Yeah,
there.
the last thing I was going to say.
I'm not talking about in terms of what it makes in revenue, or I'm talking about in terms of like
Console sales. Or
like,
lack thereof.
zeitgeist type, or just
So-
zeitgeist type
Like
shit, right?
Yeah.
So what
yeah.
you're saying is that they've taken a nosedive as far as the fanboyism console
Well,
war.
you see, the
don't have-
problem is,
No,
I think
no,
some of you guys are diminishing the value of a console.
No, hold up. I'm
No,
not talking
no,
about
no. We're not diminishing the
fanboyism's
value of the
anything. I'm talking
console.
about like just in general. You talk to people in generalities, in gamers. Xbox it has for years now. I think we need to acknowledge been at this point now the console that people talk about the least, or the platform people talk about the least. It is PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, then Xbox. It's been like that for years, whether people like it or not. It's just it is the case, right?
Well,
Everybody,
Yeah, one
everybody
thing
that
to
I
add
work
there,
with
though,
play on Xbox.
Right.
one
but
thing
and before I
if your
even
circles are that, yeah, for sure.
Well, no,
The-
they
the-
weren't even part of my circle. I just would bring up, hey, I do a gaming podcast every Wednesday. If you want to
Hey
check it
guys,
out, it's
I
called
play
Game
games
Set
too.
Live,
Okay.
and they're like, oh, well, what do you cover? And I was like, oh, we cover all platforms. I mean, we're
Right, but
really.
but
I-
if the anecdotal evidence of like, oh, all these guys, they are in the Xbox, then Xbox wouldn't be in the situation it's in now,
I think
right?
just to touch on what you were saying before, Wise, is that we're not, or at least I'm not minimizing the importance of a console. I'm just speaking from the perspective of like that ship has sailed for Microsoft, so I can't just focus on just the
Yeah.
console. They're pushing towards PC, cloud, and console space altogether. And it's really just if you're able to provide people with services that people want to subscribe to with Game Pass, for example, you're providing people with games people want to play, then it's that you're again, I don't know the metrics or everything like that, but
Oh.
you're pretty much becoming what people talk about through the various games you offer, the various services you offer, and go from there. Like
If they can get to the point to where they're making multiple critically and commercially acclaimed,
Critically acclaimed
Game of the
games,
Year
yeah.
nominated games every year,
it
year after
would
year
it,
after year, that
it would
I
be
mean
great. Yeah.
that would I
But
think that would be like kind of what I mean that isn't that the dream for all these companies, right? To be the company that makes Game of the Year nominated games
Maybe-
every year,
Well, then they
critically
need to-
critically and commercially acclaimed.
Then they need to kiss up to Jeff a lot better than Sony does. So I mean, that's what
maybe.
But real quick,
I don't know.
I was going to point out, no matter who's the face of Xbox, the new lady, Asha, or whoever, in the end, it really doesn't matter because you have that one board member who's overseeing all of it, and she's the fucking bean counter. Miss, every game's got to make 20% or whatever it was. She said.
Either way, like I don't see that. I think it's hard to look at this and be like, oh, this is bad news. Like I know there's some people like, no, not Philly Spence. Dude's been there for 12 years, guys.
Well,
He's been there for 12
He's-
years.
Look
Yeah,
at the poor
no,
guy. Have
he's
you
only-
seen him
he-
fucking recently? I feel
Yeah,
sorry for him, man.
He
Like,
looks like
No,
he's been
no,
drinking
no.
Somalian blood.
No,
No.
he's been working out and he's on a weight
no,
loss
the
drug.
man has injected himself with Ozempic so many times. He's lost a lot of. He's
not
lost
even.
any place to
Look,
inject
he's
himself. He's
been-
injecting
he-
himself
He's
everywhere.
got the Ozempic
Look,
with
he
Kevin
has
at
been a
Force. It's like
40
Ozempic
years.
plus.
He's been there for 40 years, man.
Yes,
let it
Phil
go.
Spencer has been he's been an employee of Microsoft since
No, I'm talking about as
1988.
head of Xbox for
Yeah,
12
yeah,
years.
But
See,
still,
and
But
here's the
I
thing,
do
right?
have to
at one company for 40 years.
hold on before you start, Wise. What super what he mentioned the first time around, he didn't mention the second time around. The first time around, he mentioned the word nominated. The second time around, he did not mention nominated. He just said commercially and critically acclaimed.
No, I said Game of the Year nominated and winning games as well as
Well, see,
critically and commercially acclaimed games.
I don't put any weight in nominations whatsoever.
Well, no, obviously, but I mean, if you're making a game, you would like that. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if they could, right? If they could make multiple games a year that are both critically acclaimed, commercially acclaimed, which means that they sold really, really well, that the people really, really liked them, and they got nominated, so they got all the fanfare and bullshit. Like, isn't that kind of what all these companies would want? Isn't that what they're really trying to get?
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, sort of.
I
I
mean,
mean,
movie studios don't make movies to not get them nominated for Academy Awards.
yeah, I know. I mean, but you know,
It's part of the whole.
I listen to a lot of podcasts and shows with actors and actresses, and they're all like, you know, I just want to know at the end of the day that I did a good job, and I get that from my viewers, and these awards are just bullshit. And at the end of the
I
day,
think
I hate to say it, but the Game
Yeah.
Awards they kind of
Oh
fall
yeah,
under the
no.
same umbrella. It's just at
As
the
the
end of the
Academy,
day,
yeah, no,
it's
and,
just
I
really
agree that those things aren't that much of a factor. That's why I included the critically and commercially acclaimed, because those are the things that I think are honestly more important. But as long as they're making things that, like I said, are making a lot of money, that the public are seeing as a really really good game, because there have been games that won Game of the Year that or were nominated for Game of the Year that I'm like. I don't care. Or even like if you look at the Academy Awards, there are movies that win the Academy Award Best Picture, and I'm like, I thought that movie was trash. I didn't even see it. But then you have other movies that didn't even get nominated that made $2 billion. So who really
Right.
won in that? Who really won there, right?
The $2 billion
So,
people
but
want to
but
fuck the
right,
critical acclaim.
but if you could do it all, obviously, I think
That would
that's
be the holy grail, right? That would be the holy grail.
right.
Right.
And I'm not saying that they need to do all of that. I'm saying like if that's what she's trying to get at, is like that's the goal. The goal is making banger after banger after banger, commercially acclaimed, critically acclaimed, Game of the Year nominated and winning, just monsters, powerhouse games.
So she needs to choose her words.
That's going to lift up the name of Xbox. They are chosen, wisely. It's all executive speak. It's gone over by six people before we read it.
And at the end of the day, look, I'm an advocate against exclusivity. I hate it because I think every gamer should get to experience every experience, and I'm gonna go that way, unweathered either
then
way.
technically, you're not really an Xbox player then.
No, I am an Xbox
No, you're
player
not.
because
Okay. If you are a console player, you value
Yes.
two things. You value the exclusivities on your console as well as the games the way they run on the console.
No, you're putting your
No.
More
personal,
so
you're,
like
you putting
You're putting your
boundaries on
personal
it.
perspective into
Yeah.
my life that it doesn't match.
You like Xbox games, but you're not an Xbox console fan, I would argue.
What?
well,
No,
but
no,
you're
no, no,
limiting. Hold on. You're
Hang on.
limiting
No,
back to the.
let me
console.
real bark on him about that, because the only console I have is an Xbox, but I don't mind playing some of it on my PC. Does that mean I'm not a real console player?
Well, technically, you prefer PC, so you'll be a PC
So,
player who
okay,
is console adjacent. You're not really a console. I would be more of a console
No,
player
I'm
who
a
dips into
console
PC,
player.
but I'm more of
No,
what you would consider a traditional console player than you.
Wise? The problem.
I think
Wise.
it's also a strange place to, like I said, the Xbox is more than just the console now, right? That brand it's been on PC for so many years. There's so many people that play both places, so you can be both. I think.
Exactly. I think it kind of, because I see where you're coming from, Wise. Like if someone's playing Halo through Steam, it's just another Steam game they're playing, and they're not necessarily an Xbox fan. But if you're using Game Pass, if you're using the Xbox storefront, if you're using cloud streaming through Xbox, I would say you're an Xbox guy at that point.
Because that's like to say that if you are an exclusively PlayStation person and you play and enjoy Xbox games, does that mean you're not an Xbox fan because you didn't play them on the Xbox now?
You're not an Xbox console fan, I would argue.
So
Well,
okay,
but you
Well,
keep limiting
if you throw in console,
look,
now,
you
yeah.
guys have totally taken this in a direction.
No, you
I
don't.
didn't intend.
That was
No. What I'm
wise.
saying
That
is
was
that she
wise.
needs to choose her words carefully, and I don't think the words that she chose were right. I think she said, "Oh, I'm going to bring back the glory days of Xbox," or she was I'm paraphrasing her when she says that. Well, what she thinks is the glory days of Xbox versus what the person who is a true Xbox hardcore fan thinks is the glory day of Xbox is polarly different. It is not the same.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Hold on. Maybe they wanted us to interpret it as we thought and have conversations about it, thus
Exactly.
speaking about them for days and days to come. Maybe that would who the hell
Of course,
knows?
it does all that. Everyone says something,
'cause
but you
look-
have to read between the lines, right? Go ahead.
But see,
Personally-
why you're sitting there and you're saying what you're saying is what makes a hardcore Xbox fan. What makes you the arbiter of what makes a hardcore Xbox fan?
I'm not saying I'm a
Very true.
hardcore Xbox fan. I'm just saying like traditional console fans, these are what we console fans find valuable. Otherwise, what's the point of being a console fan?
But one thing to bring it back to
What
when
is
it comes
it
to
like?
the IP
Okay,
is that,
pause. Let's say, what
no,
makes a
I just
wanna say- I
PlayStation
just
fan a
wanna say this.
PlayStation
No,
fan?
let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick.
No, we've
If-
had. Go ahead.
You shit on
No,
Xbox.
the only
That
thing I was
makes-
gonna
that's
say,
what makes a
it goes
PlayStation
back-
fan a PlayStation fan.
It goes back to I mean, we can talk about the consoles numbers being stagnant, but it goes back to if they produce quality games, the next console that comes out is a quality product. People are who prefer consoles are gonna migrate towards Xbox because
there are people that are fans of different companies and different products for different reasons. Just because you like a company and another person likes a company doesn't mean you like them for the same exact reason.
Exactly. I mean, but I would still say if you like,
What do you
okay,
mean
what
exactly?
makes a
Your
PlayStation
implication
console
was
fan a
that they all
PlayStation
like them for
console
the same
fan
exact
because it's
thing.
what you're gonna do on the
No,
PlayStation.
The only-
but
look,
you're saying no, hang on. But he keeps saying it's because they like exclusive. That's what makes them hardcore console. They want exclusives. I didn't go to console because I wanted exclusives, dude. I went to console because especially back in the original Xbox and the 360 days, it was basically just like it is now. It's plug and play, and a lot of those games weren't available on PC. I mean, it wasn't because, oh my God, because I didn't go to Xbox for Halo. I'm not a Halo fan. You cannot put them all in that.
blasphemous.
A lot of people, and as we've always talked about, a lot of people go to their chosen console not because of the game they want to, not because of some exclusive necessarily, but because they have friends who, hey, we all play over here. Why don't you join us?
So, building off what Paul said, I would like to finish my statement before I was interrupted by the show host.
Okay, go ahead.
With the utmost respect. With a prime example is Halo Combat Evolved is going to be released on every platform.
Right.
I hope that it sells 100 million copies on PlayStation. I hope that it's nominated for Game of the Year. Not because it's an Xbox game, but because playing the first Halo with my friends on Xbox was such a great experience. It will give me the warmth in my heart that many other gamers were able to experience this and loved it as much as I did. It's got no fanboyism involved. I don't care that it helped Xbox out because putting their game on this platform helped them make this much money. No, it's got nothing. It is the fact that these players that have only been exclusively on PlayStation, they were robbed of the experience to play Halo because it was an exclusive game to Xbox. They're finally experiencing this, and it was monumental for them as it was for me. That is what will make me happy. That's the way I look at it all. I mean, that was the end of my statement before Wize cut me off. Anyway.
Okay, so I mean, again, it's a matter of semantics. I personally believe, okay, like if you are the reason I have a Switch and I'm a Switch fan is because I can play on the Switch games that I cannot get anywhere else. That's what gravitates me towards the Switch. PlayStation, the same thing. Well, less so now, but I don't have to wait. I know that, like, for example, when the next God of War, let's just say the remake comes out, I can play day and date on whatever PlayStation iteration I have at that time. Whereas, so those things are what makes a console gamer a console gamer, in my opinion, because it's not only the box that you play on, but the experiences that box opens up to you that you may not have or have to wait for a longer time to get into another platform.
There are console gamers that game exclusively on console. They don't give a fuck about the exclusives. They buy it for FIFA, NBA, Madden. Then there are people like me that I buy the consoles because of the exclusives. Like I had my Xbox because of its exclusives, my PlayStation because of its exclusives. There are some people that don't care. Again, you're trying to make things super black and white when there's a whole lot of nuance and variables and a whole bunch of gray to these issues.
So let me go around. What do you mean? Okay, so let me ask everybody here independently, irrespective of anyone over talking somebody, in your humble opinion, she says a comment like, oh, I'm going to bring Xbox back to its glory days. What does that mean to you specifically, just from you when you first heard the comment? So let me go with you, Supa, as somebody who's a PlayStation centric guy.
I think the first place your brain wants to go is, oh, the Xbox console will once again be on this pedestal, but I don't think it's going there. I think she's going to make it. She's going to try
I
to
don't
bring
care what
Xbox
she's
to,
going to make it.
Right,
I'm
right.
asking you, what are you, when you heard those
I'm
words, what are you talking?
I'm answering your fucking question. Again, the initial snap thing in your brain is the Xbox console up here again, right? Back in the 360 days. But when you think about it, and me thinking that's never going to happen. I think we're going to take this brand that's a global brand that everyone knows and make it one of the premier gaming or premier game companies of all time. They have the capability, the means, the studios. Don't make it just the biggest game publisher in gaming, make it the premier game publisher in gaming. That's what I think is what, again, me trying to understand
I'll
what
be right back, guys.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, what about you, Cerebral? What does that mean to you? That little.
Why are you driving this? I mean, dude,
No, I'm just curious. I mean, we're just talking,
really,
okay?
really,
we're just talking.
really,
we're just
who-
arguing. We're just
really, who
talking
gives a-
semantics here. We're just having fun here.
But who
So,
gives
what
a-
does that mean to you as a PC/Xbox gamer, hardcore at that as well? What does that mean? What does the glory days of Xbox, bringing back the glory days of Xbox,
I
even
would,
mean
yeah.
to you?
I would, for me, the first thing that came to mind was basically brand recognition in the gaming space.
Yeah.
Now, in my head, I went, whether that in my head serious, I went, does that really mean console? I could hope, but I'm not stupid either.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
like I said earlier, I can see where they have an opening to bring the console, maybe not back up to the heights that it once was,
Mhm.
but at least to make it somewhat relevant again. They have a great opportunity as a business to do it, but they would have to do some things that might hurt internally to do that. One, to keep the price, within reason. And there's steps they'd have to take. And they would have to do way better at advertising than they've been doing for the last 10 years.
Yeah, I also think they would need to go back to being fully exclusive, because I think if you give people an excuse to not buy.
I
Go ahead.
think that genie's out of the bottle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
Right,
don't.
right.
I
But,
think-
that's what I'm trying to say is, like, I think if you're giving people an excuse to not buy whatever, even if they brought the cost down and do whatever they had to do for this new, not the Magnus, but another box.
Let me
let's
ask the
say,
chat.
that's a
Chat,
more
the same
affordable
question
box.
goes to
But
you,
let me-
and I'll
the
post
only-
your comments, by the way.
let
But
me-
chat,
let me-
D487,
Forget about
RPG88,
me.
Rich Christian. What does
I won't-
Lesser Logical? What does it mean when
Nah,
she
I got
says
cut off too.
bringing back the glory days of Xbox? When you read that, what does that translate immediately to your brain? And I just was
Can I
just curious
finish
what
I
you
was
thought
saying?
that phrase
Don't forget about me.
means.
My
Okay,
fucking
Triple.
word.
What about you?
Jesus
Paul, you were
Christ.
saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
Now I forgot what I did.
Yeah, I forgot what we were talking about.
Well, shit, I forgot too. I've been drinking. But for me,
Well-
I kind of just to pick up off of what Paul was saying, like
I don't know
brand
what the fuck we're
recognition.
talking about.
Yeah,
Keep
just
going.
what her saying of like what Xbox Glory Days mean to us. And again, it goes back to what Paul was saying when it comes to brand recognition, and people who are more familiar with Xbox history might be able to speak more on details of this, but also just a vague way of saying, like, for lack of a better word, like pioneers in the industry are trying new things, which again, correct me if I'm wrong, was like, wasn't the whole big thing was like with the console having an Ethernet port wasn't really the thing for consoles during then. But then you're transitioning that to what that means in the modern day when it comes to your games are on cloud, your games are on PC, your games are available on console as well. They're trying new things in the space to get people on board in the ecosystem. For me, it kind of just what she said really just boiled down to like you're making first party games that people want to play, and that's really the core of it. And the only thing I will say is we were touching on just a little bit when it comes to the exclusivity thing. Again, you got cloud, you got PC. The only thing that I'm still kind of iffy about is like day and date releases on PlayStation, just because you already have a console
was
in
gonna
that
say.
space. And
That's
so
already
you have,
happening.
That
yeah,
was- that-
I know,
that was the- that
yeah,
was
and
the-
that's where,
that was the-
yeah,
that
and
was
that's
the
where
thing.
the genie's out of the bottle of that one. That's the only reason I was mentioning that is that again, you have PC, you have cloud, then you have your console support, so you kind of like you have your hands in multiple spaces, but when you put it on PlayStation as well, then it does go back to what you were talking about again, Wize, when it comes to specifically the console itself. Specifically, you do have to get people to come to the Xbox console per se. But again, when it comes to the ecosystem part, they already have their games everywhere in the ecosystem sense of PC, cloud, and then console. But now it's that
but
mighty of like some
again,
PlayStation as
like
well.
why I
But
said she needed to choose her words more carefully. She didn't use the word console anywhere in that statement. She just
yeah.
said Xbox.
Yeah, and that's again where this goes back to like if we wanted to simplify it for
I think-
myself, it's just you're making stellar games that people want to play.
And
I
real quick, let me,
Go ahead.
because I do remember my last thought. Because with exclusives, if they really
Hurry
want to, if okay, never mind, I'm done.
No,
Cerebral, come on. Come on, get a
Yeah,
joke.
was
Come
just-
on, Cerebral. Come on.
Look,
You
I was
can't-
just saying that because I
Come
wanted to
on,
comment
come on,
on
Cerebral. You
a.
can't have him poke the bear and you get. Come on, you can't let this fat motherfucker set you off. Come
It
on.
wasn't him. It was you. Totally cut me off and forgot you cut me off and started to move on. I mean,
Yeah, okay, go. Cerebral, you have the floor.
I was just gonna comment.
You are not
on a-
Cerebral.
on
Shut
a-
the
on
fuck
a
up. Okay, Cerebral,
on
go
a
ahead.
comment that was
Let's
made
just
on your
Shut the
stream.
fuck
That's
up.
all.
Did I just say you to shut the fuck up? Okay, go ahead, Cerebral.
All right,
not paying
I'm
his
out.
payroll.
but
He's
what I
out.
was saying in regards to exclusives, what they need to do is something I'm a fan of and I'm okay with, especially going to the other console makers, be it whoever they are. Especially when the new Xbox comes out, go back to doing fucking timed exclusives. A year, don't do this 6 month crap.
Your day and date.
Make it feel like, okay, if you wait, you're gonna be waiting a fucking year. So
Yeah.
you wanna play now, you get it now,
Yeah, no,
And
exactly.
so some people are going to be willing to wait, but not everybody.
Right.
The main reason I even talk on the console is that you're still making the console incentivize people to play on that platform at least within a year, because if you're releasing them day and date, as we said before, you're going to have the most powerful box in the ecosystem. We're assuming we're in the space per se, but it's like doing it day and date on both platforms just is that little head scratcher, if you will. Like if
Yeah.
you're gonna do releases multi-platform, fine, as you said, Paul, year release, but day and date, that's where it's just like
And be that dick. Say if you play it on our console day and date, you're gonna get quality and stuff that we can't get on the other consoles because
Game
they're
Pass.
slower, they're smaller, they're
Oh, don't do
they're-
that.
they're
Don't
not
do
as powerful. No, because it's true. It's
No,
like,
I mean, no, I get that. It's
And-
kind of like as long as
please
they're
go
not
ahead.
really egregious with it, and where it's like you get the potato mode on PlayStation 6,
Yeah.
you get the ray tracing ultra quality on Xbox. I'm like, don't do that, don't do that.
And also, please get rid
That's the
of
game,
like
though.
time and get rid of get rid of like day and date on Game Pass. That's what's really where they're fucking hemorrhaging. Okay, you stop. No. If they want to play the game, like for example, I'll play Fable if it's on Game Pass. Of course, I mean I'm a human being. If I can get the same fucking experience for $30 fucking, I'm going to do it. But if
Okay.
you force
Are you gonna
me
beat? Listen, no, stop right there. Are you gonna beat Fable in less than 30 days? Are you going to beat that massive RPG in less than 30
no,
days?
of course not. I'm not going to beat
Okay,
that
then
massive
you've
RPG.
already paid. Then listen, then you've already paid $60.
Yeah,
for 2
but
months
that's
of Game
compared
Pass.
to like
You've
okay,
bought
if you
the game.
only give me an
You've
$80
bought the
or
game.
$100 option, guess what I'm going to buy? I'm going to buy the $100 option or it's
you.
$80 option.
Listen, when you have a subscription service, it's a revolving service. So the okay, so Xbox's this is not even what I wanted to talk about when I got a chance to talk, but Asha alluded to this, and PlayStation has not come out and said this, but that is what they seem to be gearing for. When you buy a game, you pay $80, $70, $60, whatever it is. When you buy that game, that purchase is done. They don't make any more money off of you as an individual off that game.
Mhm.
But when you add microtransactions, when you make that game a live service game, you continually make profit off that title. That is why they want to do so many live service games all of a sudden over on PlayStation's side. When shit, I didn't.
No, but I think a day and date release in the Game Pass for a live service game makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, for live
But I think
service,
if,
yes.
but I think if it's going to be like something like a Fable or a Clockwork Revolution, even if it's a 3 month, 3 months, you don't get it into Game Pass. There's a slight delay. it'll incentivize people to maybe spend full price on the game. And they're probably still going to have Game Pass,
Yes.
but they're also going to buy the game.
Right. I mean, let's.
I mean, either that, or you buy the premium edition upgrade, which
I mean,
gets you the premium edition for forever. But you got to have Game Pass at the same time, so you've essentially almost bought the game, but also got the day and date on Game Pass.
The premium edition for the new Forza that's coming out is $60.
Well, the thing is
I know.
this. The logic
I've already
is
got
this.
it.
The logic
I've
is
got
this. There's too many fucking games. Just look at this year. Look at how many fucking games are just boom, 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 boom. We always say, oh yeah, we got this big ass back catalog, but let's be honest, we're not going back to our fucking back catalog. Who's going back and playing Borderlands 4 because they not played it yet? I mean, you're talking about less than 1% of the population here, okay? So you need a capital, just business 101. Okay, you got a lucrative or you've got a nice enticing carrot in front of the consumer base. Make them buy the fucking carrot. Why are you giving it to them for it doesn't make any fucking sense. Yes, true enough, you may lose the viewer count, but you can put that fucking thing a year later on Game Pass and everyone's going to play it. I mean, it makes fucking sense. You have to look at the human psychology. Human psychology is, if I can find a way of getting the same fucking experience for less money, I'm going to fucking capitalize on that shit. Okay? There is no reason for day and date to be on any sort of subscription service in a gaming centric situation. Okay? I mean, I know that might sound being a little blindsided. It might sound being a little, first world problemy, but that's just the reality of the situation. You know,
Then what am I paying for Game Pass for?
You're paying for Game Pass because you're getting 400 fucking games and you're playing any becking goddamn
massive library of games.
But if I can't get some of the greatest and latest, why? Why bother? Why?
Well,
I should just save my money then.
Are you getting any movie that comes out in the theaters day and date on any fucking streaming service? Why the fuck are you complaining about gaming if this is not coming out day and date on a streaming service or on a cloud service?
It doesn't matter. The thing is, yeah, Paul, I get you and I absolutely agree with you. Now, had day and date never been a thing, and it was like you get Game Pass and you'll get these brand new games at no additional cost after 3 months. If day and date never existed, you'd be like, holy shit, I don't have to spend $60. This guy wait 3 months. Again, will everybody do that? No, but a lot of people would. Now, obviously, you can't go back now. It's too late. The day and date's never going away because that would piss off way too many people. Now, because I think there are far too many people that purchase Game Pass specifically for the day and date. Right, there are lots that here's all the games. Like that's a secondary function, right? I have Game Pass. I get all these games day and date, and also this whole library of games.
You're on a $30 tier,
family to play.
You're on the $30 tier.
Well, I'm not talking about. I don't care, Bob.
Okay.
Well, I mean, this year, let's be honest, this year, a $30 tier doesn't bother me because this year is so freaking loaded.
Well, we're not going to be talking about this year. We're talking about the average year. Let's go back to last year. This year is an exceptional situation because of the fucking goddamn whale that's sitting in around October that everyone's fucking scared of.
Not everybody's that scared of it.
Get the fuck out of here. Ain't nobody scared of it. You're fucking delusional.
Fable is going to release in the same window as GTA. I'm telling you right now.
Bull fucking shit. I will bet you a $25 Xbox gift card that he doesn't.
I will bet you.
What do you think Fable's going to release?
I'll bet you right now.
It will either come before or after that fucking window. If GTA comes in October, Fable is coming in December or is coming in September.
Before after the window.
No.
Before after the window of holiday 2026.
Mm-hmm.
So you're giving,
or it'll be on the tail end of that window. I will take this bet. I will die on that hill. I will draw the line in the sand. Anyone willing to take the bet? Does your belief have weight? I'm putting a bet on it. I'm putting a $25 gift card on whichever platform of choice that you want. It's a small bet, a small wager amongst anyone who's willing to. Listen, there is no fucking way they're going to release Fable on the same fucking window as GTA 6. There is no fucking way.
They very well could, just because
They
got
very
games
well
that have
could
to
release
come
it
out.
tomorrow, but that
So-
doesn't mean
so
it's
you're-
a problem.
But-
It's a
but no,
possibility.
basically,
Okay,
so
okay,
you're
okay,
saying-
okay.
Stupid.
You're saying they're
doesn't
not
mean they
going to
won't
release
do
in the
it.
same 3-month period as GTA. The same 3-month. You're going to say 3 months on either side.
If
They're
GTA
not
comes
gonna
out in
release it.
October and November, the Fable's either coming out in September and December. That's what I'm saying.
No,
That's the same window.
that's the same window.
No, they're giving it about
From a-
there's
from a-
going
from
to
a
be
game-
about a
Outside
2
of the
month lag.
outside of the
From a game
window,
release
you'll have
window.
to.
I will say
outside
there
of
will
the
be a
window,
2 month
you would-
lag between the release of GTA 6 and the release of Fable after the release of GTA 6. Before they might come out like 2 weeks. I don't even think they're going to come
You're
out 2 weeks
drunk.
before GTA 6. I think they're going to have to come either a month before or 2 weeks after. I mean, or 2 months after.
No. I said they both release in November.
Are you willing to take the bet?
Yep.
Okay. Everyone has got it on chat. I am putting a $25 gift card off the platform of your choice that Fable does not release in the same 2-month window around GTA 6. Paul, you want to take the bet?
So basically, you're saying that Xbox is going to totally ignore this anniversary. They're going to blow right past it. They're going to.
If GTA
Just
6
to
comes out in
avoid
November, there's
GTA
no
6.
fucking way they're coming out in November.
Okay. Listen. Wise. Let me put this in terms that you can understand.
Yes.
Okay. Fable. We know how you feel about Fable.
Yes.
Fable and GTA 6 come out 14 days apart from each other.
But then again, I'm
What?
not the person you need to be asking.
Stop. No, because you are not the only one. There are a lot of other people out there that were brought into the JRPG era, the action RPG era with Fable. There are many,
Yeah, but
many
are they
people
trying to
out
get
there.
established
If
players or
GTA
players that are
6
new? Go ahead.
It doesn't matter. You're not bringing a game out called Fable aiming at new players. You're bringing a game out called Fable aiming on players that remember Fable from 20 years ago.
Not true.
To be
That's
fair,
what- that's what-
Not true. Go ahead.
To be fair, though,
Go ahead, Nova.
Grand Theft Auto is aiming at both.
Exactly. Bingo.
They're
Right
aiming
there.
at new players and old players, and I don't, I'm telling you, and I like Fable. And I don't know how. It sounds like Wise loves Fable.
I love Fable.
like
Fable,
Fable,
is
but-
one
but
of
if-
my
but if
goats
it's-
of all time.
but-
I'm
but if
sorry.
it's
I mean,
for me,
I know
if
my
it- if
likes are
it's
different
gun
than
to my
most
head
people.
and I
I
gotta
love
choose
Fable. Go ahead.
one. If it's gun to my head and I got to choose one on one, like within a month, for me, it's GTA 6. Is that going to be everybody? No. Is it going to be the plurality of people? I believe so.
Okay, well, let's say
I think it's more.
Remember
if
what
GTA
happened?
6 came
Remember
out in
what fucking
October,
happened to Titanfall? Titanfall and Titanfall 2 are fucking very good games, even in comparison. What buried the franchise?
for
Like
Titanfall
between
1
five
didn't
people.
have a fucking single player campaign.
Who gives a fuck
Titanfall
about a
2
multiplayer
did.
game not having a single fucking player campaign? Who gives a fuck about that
everybody.
shit?
Hang on.
Goddamn
Playing
single
Titanfall had
player
an
campaign
issue
is
with
only
it
5
not having a
goddamn hours
campaign.
anyway. What the fuck are you talking about?
Wise. No. When that game came out, that was the biggest complaint. Wise.
The
So a lot
biggest
of people-
complaint,
a lot of people
Wise.
gave a
But
fuck.
when
A
no,
lot of people
when
gave a
was
fuck.
it fucking released? When were both games
Between
fucking released?
Battlefield and Call of Duty. It was
Exactly.
between
That is
Battlefield
what
and Call of Duty.
fucking buried it. Not the fact that it lacked a single player campaign. Nobody gives a fuck. That game was good. And I'm saying that shit because I'm a single player
No,
gamer.
yeah, a lot of people gave a fuck. Wise. A lot of people did.
Yep.
That's why they added.
I
a
did not
single-player
play.
platform.
I did not play that game because it didn't have a single player. Because I was playing so many other games in multiplayer, I did not have the time to give that game multiplayer time.
That's exactly my point. It got buried around the other multiplayer.
Well, guess what? GTA 6 is not releasing with multiplayer time. It's releasing with only single player
Yes,
time.
and so is Fable. It's fucking single player game. One single player gamer can only play one fucking game. And if it's GTA
You're
6
not-
versus
you're-
Fable, I would say 90%
That-
of the population would take GTA 6 over Fable. You got slot. You go playing with silent.
That is only if they release on the same day, Wise. If they release a month apart from each other and everybody plays Fable for a month and then switches, you still lose the bet.
If Fable
playa.
comes out, it has to come out before GTA 6. If it comes out within the first couple of months after GTA 6, it gets fucking buried and it gets nothing. It gets nothing.
We know that's not going to happen because we know what the 25th anniversary is, and we know when Fable is slated to release, and we know the release date of
they
GTA
said
6.
autumn. Why in the goddamn name did they say autumn of all fucking things?
Because GTA 6 is in that window. So when they say autumn, they were like, "Well, we can
because they
whatever
were
time we
fucking
want."
GTA 6. What the fuck are you talking about? That's the reason they said autumn. Once GTA solidifies, they will release a release date. I guarantee you, Fable will release their release date 24 hours or 48 hours.
GTA 6 has already released their release date.
It is not
It's already
concrete.
out there.
They keep postponing that shit. We don't even know GTA 6 is coming out this year.
To be fair, Wise, what release date is concrete?
There is no fucking release date that is concrete, but everyone is. Okay, look, let's call a fucking spade here. I mean, I am not as
November
as you guys
19th,
are. Why in the fuck do
2026?
we have an onslaught of we have a gauntlet run of goddamn games from now till May? Why?
November 19th, 2026 is the release date by Rockstar Games for GTA 6.
Okay, and everyone knows that's full of horse shit until they say, yes, it's definitely coming out on that time. They announced the same shit last year, and everyone's running around like they're chickens with their head cut off. Did y'all forget about last year when GTA 6, oh yeah, we're coming out in October, and everyone was like shuffling around, and then, oh yeah, we changed our mind, we're gonna come out in March, and everyone starts fucking freaking out. There is no.
Listen.
November
19th
over GTA 6. I will be that person.
Listen.
Yes.
Listen. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. GTA 6, November 19th is Rockstar's official release date. Now that's not barring a delay or anything. Okay, November 19th. Xbox's 25th anniversary is November 15th. 25 years of Xbox or a sequel of a game.
You think anyone gives a fuck what Xbox's birthday is?
Right. That I don't listen. That is not what I'm basing my statement on. I'm basing my statement on what Xbox looks at it as, which is whether or not I win the bet with Wize. Do you think Xbox cares about when their 25th anniversary is in relation to the release of a sequel of a game? The gamers may care, but Xbox doesn't care.
It's not a release of a game. It's the release of
a game.
The game.
It's going to be the largest release in entertainment history.
The celebration of our 25th of our anniversary because GTA is coming out. That they're gonna.
They will probably release a controller. They might announce Elite Series 3 with a new design SKU. They might even release a new SKU for the Series X. I guarantee you. But I guarantee you, Fable either comes before or 2 months after.
I don't know, but I think Wize is right to I think if it makes I think it makes sense for Fable to come out before.
Before makes sense.
I think after. I think regardless of whether people are, it's got no multiplayer. I don't think it matters. I think GTA 6 is going to be the largest release in entertainment history. Whether it's film, movie, computer, doesn't matter. And
watch it be broken on day one.
It doesn't matter. Everything is going to live in the aftermath of that game releasing whenever it does. And I think that to put yourself out behind it, I think is detrimental to the success of that game. Not to say that people won't still buy Fable or whatever other game there is, but I think that the sure thing, you get out before, because after, I don't think there's any certainty of any
all game developers
level of success after.
Nobody released nothing until like 2028 because fucking GTA.
No, not 2028.
That's what they've been doing, though, Paul. Half the games, the reason why we have half the games we have this year and why everything's so fucking cramped full of shit is because people push from last year trying to avoid the same shit last year.
Exactly.
Well, that's only part of it. The other part of it is all these games that were slowed down because of
So
the big C have now all been caught up and completed, and they didn't want to,
so listen, if we're looking at the release window, and let's say GTA 6 does stick with November 19th and Xbox's
The latest,
25th anniversary.
the latest they're going to release Fable, if November 16th is hard and fast in stone, will be the middle of October. After which, it's not coming
Okay,
out until
listen.
sometime mid-January
Listen.
or early February.
Listen, you need to understand something, okay? Let me give you a lesson in history.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm very
The very
interested in lessons in history. Come on, go ahead.
The very first Fable, its 22 anniversary will be September the 14th.
Yeah, and
Which
Microsoft
is-
doesn't fucking
which
care about
is
an
autumn.
anniversary that doesn't
Which
matter.
is autumn. That's autumn. September 14th is still autumn, Wize.
Okay,
It's still it is still within the window of GTA 6
okay.
releasing,
So see,
and you
a
still
September, no, no.
lose.
September is fine. It is pre GTA 6.
Yeah, I think
No,
we'll
it's
acknowledge
not.
that September's before. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I mean,
if
September,
November
October,
is set in stone by Take Two, then
September's
September
before.
is a safe month to release the game because you got 2 months without the GTA 6 fucking hype train going in. Well, it's still going to be a hype train, but you could put it out. Not only will you cater to look the hardcore like me, what they've shown, if that is exactly the game, that is exactly what we're looking for. So for the hardcore
'cause-
Fable guys like me, we already are day one, but they don't want the 500,000 people who are hardcore Fable guys. And I'm being very optimistic when I say that number. All right. They want the million plus. They don't want the 500,000. Okay.
Not to mention just the media landscape around when that game releases, it's going to get swallowed up by GTA because you're going to have how many videos are going to come out with different details of GTA for something like IGN or GameSpot. And then when the game comes out, it's going to be this video review, that video review, this streamer playing it, that streamer playing it.
It's going to make it on the normal news
of
channel,
just-
CNN,
of just
NBC.
that content
Yeah.
everywhere. And it's going to make it so difficult for coverage of any other game to get any air whatsoever because everybody is going to be covering this one single game. And I
if
say
that's-
everybody, not literally, but I mean that's the one it's going to be hard for anything else to catch air to get in the air when that game comes out. Think about it, anytime a big game comes out, it's everywhere. All the streamers play it. It's on Twitch. It's on how many video? Look at Crimson Desert. I
It's
think
already
IGN's made like fucking
occupying my feeds. Yeah, go ahead.
There's like 6 videos that IGN's already made of different small details of Crimson Desert.
but that's IGN. They're
listen,
But it's not just IGN. The point is that it's gonna take over the media landscape. But
I'm gonna be honest with you here, okay? Straight up, I've got a gamer score over 100,000, and I've got I can't remember how many platinum trophies I have on PlayStation.
It doesn't matter how many fucking trophies.
No,
and
no,
gamer
no,
score
no.
you have.
Listen.
Right,
I'm
right,
just
finish this point,
trying.
man.
I'm just trying to lay the foundation that I'm a gamer. Okay.
Oh, well,
And
you're
I'm
on
gonna
a
be
goddamn
honest.
gaming
Listen,
podcast.
no,
Obviously,
shut
your
up.
ass is a
Shut
gamer.
up. Listen, I have.
yeah, let's finish
Listen.
the fucking point.
I did not finish the campaign on GTA 4, nor have I finished the campaign on GTA 5.
And it doesn't
The
matter.
last game that I finished was San Andreas. But I have finished Fable.
Right. So obviously, in this scenario, you are going to be one of the people that would buy Fable over GTA 6.
Well, not only am I
wouldn't
don't.
say that.
But what's funny is that I don't even have to buy Fable. It's going to be there day one on Game Pass.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay, GTA 6.
If GTA
No,
comes out for $100.
Times. Okay, let me put you in a perspective. Okay, and I know this is not your individual perspective, but let's just say it is. Okay, listen up. Okay, ready? Say for example, GTA 6 comes out. Okay, it's $100 buy. Okay, standard game, they $100 whatever is beyond that, right? Fable comes out same day, $30. You can only get one. Which one are you going to get?
Who are you talking to?
Fable.
No. You're
This
gonna
man, this man
as
already
will
said,
I.
of course.
But how many people are like you and me?
$100
Listen,
game,
listen.
he would buy Fable. He clearly said he doesn't like GTA.
Listen, I don't. It's not that I don't like GTA.
No,
I
no,
thought
I understand that, but he was asking you, like, if Fable's cheaper, which one are you going to buy? It's like, clearly, he was already going to buy Fable,
look,
even if it
it's
wasn't
like-
cheaper.
it's like D487 said in chat. He didn't buy or play GTA 5 at all. GTA 5 to me, it GTA 5, it took away from the whole personal feel of GTA. You played a certain player character in every one of the GTAs. And in GTA 5, they split it up into two different
But
characters.
see, that's the thing.
Three.
It doesn't
No,
fucking matter.
you cut me
Three.
off again. Shut up.
Three different
Go ahead,
characters.
go ahead.
Three different characters.
Okay. 3 characters. See, I don't even know that. I played it for a little while. I played for through the first several missions, and then GTA 5 became this massive online thing, and at that moment I checked out. I totally checked out. I started playing all the other games that let me live in this world that was full of adventure, and
Are you the majority or minority, though?
I believe I'm the majority because there's a lot of people. Everybody in
Are you
chat
hearing
is
the
agreeing with
bullshit
me.
that you're saying? I mean,
No,
I
no,
smell
no.
bullshit on nowhere near on a
Everybody in
goddamn
chat
farm. What the
is
fuck are you
forgetting
talking
it.
about? You're the
I think
majority.
I think what he's saying is, let's go see if you can find somewhere the percentage of players that have actually completed the campaign on GTA 5.
Irrelevant. It doesn't matter
it's
if they
not.
Thank you,
completed-
please, no.
No,
100%.
It's because-
it
Does not-
is
it
That's
does
because
not
GTA
matter
6
if they
is not
completed the
releasing
game.
for
Please, I don't
with
believe I'm having this
multiplayer for
fucking
6 months.
discussion. Come on,
It doesn't.
go ahead.
It doesn't matter whether or not they completed the game, dude. We need to look.
Yes, it
you need to
does.
remove,
No, wait,
remove
how is the
yourself from the
fucking-
whole thing.
Go ahead, go no.
Because multiplayer is not shipping with it when it drops.
For
Because
6
it's simply
months.
gonna be
It
because
didn't.
6 months.
It didn't launch with GTA 5 either.
That was almost 10
But it-
years ago, or 12 to 20 years ago.
Well, I mean, it's still a good point to be made though, because how much did
Listen,
it sell?
it is.
within,
It
like,
is
the first
already.
week
It
or
is.
something like
Hold
that?
on. It is already known that GTA 6 will not launch with a GTA Online. It is still the most hyped and anticipated game of this year. Maybe not for you, Paul. Maybe not for you, Bob, or a whole lot of other people, but for most people.
Fox
For
News.
most people,
I know.
it is going to be. It's going to be an entertainment juggernaut. It will be the largest release in entertainment fucking history.
I like the way you keep saying that. You can't know that.
The last one was.
Oh, come on. How do you look at? Come on, Paul. Come on. You've been in this. You've been around this a lot.
No.
How is it
Because
not what
because-
Noah is saying is
because I'm
correct?
not
Come
looking-
on.
Because I'm not looking at it through GTA colored glasses. I'm looking at it as the world has changed. Gaming has changed. Consoles have changed. Everything has changed. It's not coming with the multiplayer, which is GTA 5's biggest driving point right now. I don't care if it didn't release with the multiplayer when it released.
I mean,
Multiplayer is now
to build
its biggest
on-
driving point.
to build on what Paul is saying, not to cut him off, but to build on what he's saying, GTA 4, no multiplayer component. What did GTA 4 do versus GTA 5?
Less.
You're releasing the game and you don't have that key component that made it what it is for 6 months.
Oh my God. Do you not understand?
No, hell no. Dude, no,
You don't
GTA 5
understand.
made like $1 billion in 24 hours with no multiplayer whatsoever. The online didn't make it GTA 5. It was GTA 5 before the fucking multiplayer was added.
Yeah, because
But
we're also
but-
kind of
but-
hold on.
but-
One-
No,
one
no,
thing I wanna add-
no,
can I say something real quick?
no.
Can I
Let
say
Triple
something
have
real
his
quick?
piece. He's not had his say. Go ahead,
The
Triple.
only thing I want to add to this is that I understand we're talking about where people are today when it comes to GTA 5. That's speaking from the perspective that they give zero fucks about the single player at all. So if it releases with just the single player, we're assuming they're just not going to touch the game at all. And as what Super is saying is that GTA 5 sold gangbusters day one, or if not the week of the game releasing. Who's to say that won't transition over to GTA 6? And again, a lot of people might be playing the multiplayer, but they know the game won't be here till 6 months. Fuck it, I'll play the single player, get X amount of times. I might not beat the single player, but I'm gonna put time into it until the multiplayer comes out.
And they know what side their bread is being buttered. Go ahead.
People's interest or your interest or my interest in the game is irrelevant. There is going to be a FOMO factor around this game that is going to be, magnitudes higher than any other game releasing this fucking year. That's just going to be the case. It is going to be wall to wall GTA 6 everywhere. It will be inescapable, whether I like it, you like it, whether it's I play the game or don't play the game or buy the game, or it doesn't matter. What we do is irrelevant. This is just going to be the situation of what happens when this game releases. It just is. And if it's not, then I'll fucking eat my words.
All right, let me ask you a question.
I'm pretty sure this is exactly what's going to happen.
Well, no, Lord Metroid is in the chat. Metroid, where is your fucking ass on camera, man? How did you want? God damn it! Oh, anyway, Metroid, let me ask you a question. You are looking forward to Soros, okay? Soros is coming out on the same, a week before or a week after GTA 6. Or let's say he's coming out a week after GTA 6.
Are you asking a question to someone that's not even on the podcast right now?
No. So he's in the chat. So let me put Metroid. Put up. What would you do if Soros was coming out? Okay, and you could only afford one. Which one would you get? Let me know. I just want to know. All right. No, I mean, you guys. I don't believe you guys are having.
What does his answer prove, though? Any of our answers, mine, Bob's, Paul, is only adding anecdotal evidence of what we think is going to happen. The answers don't matter.
Yeah. Do you understand last year when they delayed GTA to this year, it made it on fucking Fox News? I know, Paul, you don't like fucking Fox News. I don't care about what it made it on. They made an article on Fox News about a goddamn game being delayed. They took a time off of their fucking talking about Trump to talk about this shit. Come on. It's fucking Fox News. Come on, man. Come on, just GTA 6, man. Delayed. I mean, I don't even like GTA 6. To be honest with you,
Trump in the future.
I mean, come on. How do you guys sit here and sit there with a straight face and say no? I mean, Microsoft is a business.
Hold on. The second Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer on Rockstar from 9 months ago has been viewed 150 million fucking times just on Rockstar's channel, not including all the other times it was reposted other places.
Okay. I don't know what that's supposed to prove.
The interest is there.
Well, but see, it could be the same 100,000 people watching it 70 times. Who cares? It really.
All right, Paul. You're right. You got. Next
I'm
topic.
not saying I'm right.
No,
I'm not saying I'm right.
No one's going to buy
just saying
it.
that
There's no multiplayer.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that those stats, like how many views a video has over a period of 2 years or whatever, is meaningless because a lot of people watch it over and over and over again. Seriously.
Okay.
Paul. And you know what? I'm done because
Paul, come on. How do you get that number count with me?
Okay.
You guys are all
if I may, can we bring it back in so I can understand what it is the main thing that we are arguing?
We are talking about Fable releasing basically the same time window or soon thereafter after GTA 6. And I'm saying there's no fucking way Microsoft is going to do that. They're either going to release it before or they're going to release it.
They don't care.
Oh,
they
don't care.
Listen. If you bounce around GTA 6, then you're never going to get your game released. You just need to put it out there.
Plus,
if it doesn't
Microsoft
sell,
it's going to be like Game Pass factor bitches and just walk away.
If you don't sell before, you'll sell after. When people get tired, like I did, of the GTA 5 before multiplayer.
And if it's November, I think they could easily release in mid to late December and be fine.
Yeah.
That's a whole month after the game comes out. So I just don't see releasing in the same month. I say no, but a month after, a month before, I think is fine.
Yeah, I mean, like as we're saying, September, October, as long as it's not the same month as GTA, I think it's fine. Yeah,
I think before is definitely the safer bet than after for sure.
Right,
but. All right.
And again, you're talking to somebody who is a hardcore Fable fan. Like, I will buy everything that's Fable adjacent that they release, whether it's a Fable controller, Fable Xbox, Fable. Again, that is one of my favorite franchises of all time. So fault me for what if you want, but that's just what I like. But I know I am a very, 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 very small minority in this regard. But that's
Actually, you're not. You're not really.
Ooh, he called you on your shit.
all right. I don't know.
You say you are, but you're not. If you weren't, this wouldn't the release of Fable and the delays and the not hearing anything and the wondering if it's vaporware would not have been as big a deal and as big a talking point as it has been up until this day. You call yourself an outlier, but you're not. Everybody is looking forward to the new Fable release.
Everybody
So-
that are the OG Xbox and 360 fans, how many are those that are still here? That's what I'm saying, you know.
Have you seen the new generation lately? Wize, we're the only ones still clutching our consoles.
Yeah, well. All right. And yeah, let's move on to the other part of this whole situation. So I know Iron Lords
I gotta bounce in like 10
give-
minutes, by the way.
Huh?
Just a heads up.
What
I
happened?
gotta bounce in like 10.
Okay, cool.
I wrote in the chat earlier,
We're
I do
about-
have-
Got a
about-
handy coming.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna be we're about going about 10-20 minutes anyways. Phil Spencer. So Iron Lords famously, King David gave him a moniker, Phil Dominus Maxus Aurelius Spencer.
Phil Dominus
whatever,
to be Aurelius Spencer.
Yeah. And
Well,
Sarah
he's
Bond,
Aurelius now. You know.
wait, he's whatever.
Yeah.
Long story short, we always give him credit for salvaging Xbox from Satya, who wanted
Don
to-
Matrick, Satya Nadella was not even involved with Don Matrick. It is Don Matrick he saved it from.
Yeah, well, the
then
famous
you have
story
to come
goes,
to
Satya, when he
Satya
took
to
over,
prove why he
Microsoft
did
wanted
it
to
or
close the
something.
Well,
company.
when Don Matrick said what he'd said at E3 that year, Bill Gates was still running Microsoft.
Well, no, he's referencing when he had to talk to Satya and say, "Hey, convince me to keep the platform alive," or some shit. I'm paraphrasing here.
And I always feel that
I
Don
get it.
was also never really given the chance to pull back and say, sorry, didn't mean to say that, or I probably shouldn't have said that. We're
Nah,
definitely
he
going to
missed
course
it.
correct. Like,
Nope.
I don't think he was given the
He
opportunity.
he
so
already had his chance when he said goodbye at 360.
No, he made that mistake, and then it was instant like, get this motherfucker out of here, and they bounced him out. He didn't really have a chance to be like, oh shit, I see what I did. Now let me try to correct what I did. Phil Spencer got the opportunity to say, oh shit, look what he did. Let me try to correct what he did, right? So and then like, oh, Phil Spencer saved Xbox. Don may have made the same choices Phil did had he been given the opportunity. He just never was.
True. So
That's
what
fair,
will
but-
be Phil Spencer's legacy? Will history look at him on a positive note, or do
It
you
would be
feel history will
Crackdown
really
3.
look at him as a, because let's look for a spade. He took over the Xbox during the One era. He released the Series X. He released the One X. That was generally speaking good, but there was no games for the longest times, even all the way into when he ushered in the Series X. And then finally, again, famously, let me say, go ahead, put it out there. He famously greenlit the Halo Infinite Craig situation, and then there was that full year where they were talking about backwards compatibility. And you could use your Series X to play your backwards compatible game in the highest fidelity. And then, of course, the whole Series X situation, that games, and there's no red line. So my question to you is, if you just take the window that Phil Spencer had Xbox, generally speaking, even though the Iron Lords support him, and I know we famously give him credit for salvaging Xbox.
If I may, real quick,
it would be the lowest. Go ahead. Trevor.
The only reason I'm butting it now, since Soup was gonna leave, should we talk about Sarah Bond just like vanishing, just being like, all right, I'm out? I feel like we That's probably a topic to focus on a little bit because a lot of people or some people are saying they were expecting her to fill in the roles of Phil, or if not, stay on board after he left. But she's just out as well.
And she
Just-
resigned. That's the
Yeah,
big thing. That's the big thing.
Yeah, just to shift the conversation. Like, yeah, she resigned, and in the middle of like, hey, yeah, we're still working on a new console, but I'm out.
Oh, and they're
Yeah.
trying to be able. They're already trying to sort of acclimate us to a $1,200 product. Oh, it's going to be ultra. Oh, it's going to be premium, a premium experience. She was already selling the pitch for that console. So, yeah.
Well, she's not the one making it, so if she steps out, is it not gonna still get made? Like,
It's
why?
still
Why
going
are we
to get
acting like
made. My
it's
question is, first
okay
of all,
then?
let's
I
worry
think-
about Sarah Bonnet in a second. Let's worry about Phil Spencer first. What do you think his legacy is going to be? Because if you look at what he did, he was in charge of Xbox in his and what I could argue is its lowest, its trough.
His legacy
Xbox
is going to
really
be
hit its lows during the Phil Spencer era. Now, whether Phil Spencer was a direct cause of that or not, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that that's what he was the CEO of. So do you think that based off of what he inherited, would he be looked on favorably or will he be looked on negatively when history has its turn to right? Phil Spencer's legacy.
I think generally positive, just knowing where the brand was going on. A good amount of people are saying like if they didn't course correct, the brand probably wouldn't be around today as a whole. I know people say it's not around as it used to be, but a lot of conversations were around like if it wasn't for Phil coming on board and doing a major course correct as he did, the Xbox brand probably just wouldn't exist overall, or at least just overall, I would say.
So you believe he's going to be, history is going to view him on a positive light as opposed to like we look at Donnie D with a negative light.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, how
The
many?
only, I think this is the last thing on Donnie D. I think the main thing with him was like he was in charge of. Well, I don't know when he came in charge with the 360 era, but for him, most of it is that he was leading the charge towards the end of the 360 era, what it was doing mostly well. But the launch of the Xbox One generation is just what killed it. And I know some people will say, well, the Quantum Breaks and Rise and stuff like that, that was Donnie D. But for the bulk of Xbox One's reputation, it just went down the drain after he made his comments when the game was launching. So,
but
yeah,
Phil was
that's-
never able to capture its original glory. So would you think Phil would be viewed as an ineffective CEO of Xbox?
No. As I said, like it,
And then I'm not asking
think
about no.
it's-
Okay, pause. Triple. I'm not asking you for your current view of Phil right now. I'm talking about how history will judge him 5 years hence.
No, I mean, like even then, like
How can he
it
answer for
didn't
anybody
lead
but
up.
himself?
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
even then, even then, you could say it didn't hit the metrics as 360 did, but this goes back to where the brand could have been overall, less so where the brand was before he came on board. And even then, it's like where was it heading to? And as I said, with Don Matrick in charge and just everything that this around the launch of the console overall, and people jumping ship as a whole in terms of fans losing interest in the brand overall, and people just like, bro, I just don't even care about Xbox anymore for the most part. He managed to keep the ship alive and floating and moving, even though it didn't hit the 360 numbers. Like he kept people interested in the platform and brought on, as a lot of people are saying, like the console, or at least the brand needed like first party studios. I know, the release cadence of the studios is hit or miss, but that was one of the strongest things that was like holding the console back for the most part. It's like they, for the longest time, just rely heavily on third party studios. And he took the initiative to finally say, hey, we need to start making these acquisitions and start to steer the brand into a direction where we're not relying on third party
All right,
deals and stuff
to
like that.
push back on that, many people also feel it was the ushering of Game Pass that caused the death knell of what we know as the Xbox console. So he was also lock, stock, and barrel for that. So do you think that would be something?
I mean, as a console, sure, maybe, but as a brand overall, as to what they're pushing for, I think that's just people looking at what I wish the brand still was, which was focused on the console versus where it went and what kept the ecosystem and the branding alive. And so, because as he said before, they lost one of the biggest important generations when it came to the Xbox One and the PS4. So at some point, people just weren't going to hop on board with the console unless they were like releasing ridiculously amazing titles that force people onto the ecosystem, pivoting to Game Pass, putting games on PC, putting games on cloud, just again, if you're focused on keeping the branding alive, the Xbox ecosystem alive, he did the best that he could. In terms of if you're solely putting him in a position like did you keep the console alive, then that's where you're kind of, for lack of a better word, like limiting the praise you can give him if you're focusing purely on the console space. That's kind of ignoring the entirety of what he did and what he was pushing for.
Well, yeah, but that's what how people. I feel that he's going to come off from the Xbox console viewpoint as an ineffective CEO. That's the problem. Because especially like, okay, take everything away from it. If you just look from a console vantage point, he took the Xbox from a very low, and yes, there was a blip, but then it also crashed from there on out. So from a console perspective, he was an ineffective CEO. Would you agree?
I believe that you had a crash because of the whole this is how you share your game in 2013.
This is how you share your game on PS4.
And if you look, the back compat program was started in November of 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that the number of players that you still have playing on Xbox One and Xbox Series consoles, that is because of Phil Spencer solely. Whether or not because of you just have a man crush on this dude or because of what he's done for the platform through Game Pass and backwards compatibility.
So you believe that history is going to judge him favorably?
Yeah, let's put it into real simple layman's terms for somebody who's obviously had too much Buffalo Trace this evening.
No, I have a new one that came from Las Vegas. I sent y'all a picture of it on the DMs.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't really care for smoked bourbon.
I've never had it before, but one of my somebody I was talking to in the liquor store said that he swears by it, so I had to try it.
But if you look at the games and the way the platform is right now,
would you say
none of the
Xbox,
other listen?
No. Let me pause. Not Microsoft Gaming. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel Xbox is in a healthy position?
Yes,
not Microsoft Gaming. Xbox.
I don't believe if it hadn't been for Phil Spencer, we would have had an Xbox Series console in 2020. We'd have been out by then.
Okay, so
if you think about it, okay, if you think about all of gaming, the big three: Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation. How many gaming CEOs can you mention that have made it to retirement? You can't. You can't mention any of them except for Phil Spencer.
Well, we also don't know if Phil Spencer retired or he was forced to retire.
No, he was. It's been on document. It's been documented that Destin interviewed Phil Spencer last year and asked him about retirement, and he kind of hesitated before he said anything. And then this year you find out that he's been mentoring Asha for the last 8 months and that he is planning on retiring. He's almost 60 years old and he's ready to start the next chapter of his life, which I would imagine is not having to go to studios all the time and be with his family on a beach and in Greece and in France and all these other different places. Yeah, I mean, that's what you do in the twilight hours of your life is you enjoy life and you breathe in earth and not really live the corporate life. To me, that's the next chapter of his life for me. That's not going to be like what was his name that left Xbox and went on to Blizzard and then did nothing but cuss Xbox from there on out.
Oh,
until he was
Mike Ibarra?
Yeah, Ybarra. And then when Xbox reacquires Blizzard, he leaves and then continues to cuss Xbox. That's not Phil. Phil, he's the type of guy that he's
5 months from now. It's gonna be Phil in the podcast. Yeah, so this is why Microsoft was shit. No joking.
Yeah, that's not gonna be Phil. Even in his email, Phil said that, I will be Xbox's biggest fan and player after I leave.
What the fuck
Which-
are you think he's gonna say? Oh my god, I was just putting up this front because that's what I had to do to keep my job.
No, he will say what every other CEO says. He will say, I'm moving on to the next opportunity.
Exactly.
No,
He's gonna
saying-
speak his PR speak.
Hey, we gonna see this man playing Diablo next.
I don't think you were gonna
expansion.
see this man playing anything, period. I'm sorry to say.
So okay, so I'm gonna buck back at you here. We see Herman Holst out and Phil Spencer in on PlayStation?
Oh, get the fuck out of this man right here. What the hell, man? Are you how are they gonna
Well,
What, are you serious?
I mean-
why would he first of all,
well,
let's
you're-
just talk
you're
about Phil
pushing the-
Spencer.
you're
This man has so
pushing-
much fucking money. Why would he even entertain an idea like that?
right. So that's what I'm saying. He has so much fucking money. He's felt like he's done his job at Xbox. They are still what they are in 2026, even though Don Matrick literally set off a landmine in 2013. 2026, he's ready to turn his attentions to what really matters in life and what he'll be remembered for by people that love him.
Yeah, this is going to determine a whole hell of a lot. And again, this is not something that we can answer right now. This is something that's going to come later out in the wash. We always used to say, "Oh my God, Phil Spencer is a gamer. Look, I can see Phil and his gamer tag, and he's playing this shit and that shit." I'd like to see now that he's back into normal civilized society where he's not asked to do this as a job role, what he really does. And if number one, if he even makes his handle public, and number two, if he does, how often does he actually play the games? Is it as frequent as he used to play now that he has more discretionary time, or is it
I
less?
mean, if we're expecting equal time, I think this is not realistic because it was part of the job. But to see him online, that's like, yeah, if he's still playing games, that's great. I'm just not going to be counting his hours played because he's not working there anymore. So, realistically, I don't expect him to be equal time now because that's not his job,
I mean, at the end of the day, we all want to do.
just as
Go ahead.
and he didn't just play games because he had to. He played games like Diablo because he wanted to.
Right.
Yeah, if he played,
Because I played Diablo. I wasn't in the party with him, but I was in his Diablo group one night, and we played for hours, dude. He doesn't have to play till for 4 hours late at night, but he chose to.
So let me ask you, Cerebral.
if he did it because of his job, then let's be honest, Jim Ryan wouldn't have held a controller like it was a retard.
See, here's the thing. I don't think any of these. I think these guys are so fucking. Look, I am nowhere near what they're doing, but I'm already so fucking busy that it's really fucking hard for me to get consistent gaming time. In fact, I look at you and I look at you guys enviously, like shit. Like Nova. He's like, oh yeah, I went through this game. I'm like, fuck. Shit. I wish. Time.
No. Look at it like this.
I'll
Okay,
trade
like,
you, Wise. If you want to be the guy that's on Social Security and living off $1,000 a month and have nothing but spare time because you can no longer get a job, hey, I will trade you in a fucking heartbeat, and I will still find time to play. Okay.
Build on what Paul was saying, look, if I wasn't an engineer with a degree in the automotive industry and I had a career and YouTube was my source of income, dude, I would be back here. I would be streaming every day. I would be doing a video every day with my comments and my outlook on everything. I would be I would be bringing everybody as far into my life as I possibly could.
Just 100 pounds heavier.
That's the way I would do it. But when that's not it, I mean, come on. Think of all the other people that have ran gaming divisions around the world. Nobody has cared in the past whether or not, I mean, Jim Ryan not being a gamer didn't crush PlayStation. So why would anybody have cared whether or not Phil was? That just made it a caveat to it being Phil. You actually got to know Phil. You felt like Phil was speaking from the heart when he talked about games because he wasn't actually a gamer.
But let me ask you a question: Was that real or was that constructed?
His opinions wasn't.
It
No,
was
when
real.
it came
It was
to a
real.
game, when it came to gaming, Phil was speaking as a gamer. It wasn't corporate speak. When he talked about a game and what he experienced on a game, it was corporate. I mean, it was from the heart. It was from a gamer. It wasn't corporate speak. It wasn't regurgitated bullshit that some secretary printed out.
Well, let me say this in Phil Spencer's defense, okay? And again, there's a lot
Please,
of
because you've
negatives.
been shitting on him the whole show.
Huh?
I was about to say defense. Oh my god.
No. I
Oh
mean,
my god,
I
chat.
good. Look, I gotta push back. I gotta give. Like, I gotta play both sides of the thing. I just like good news, bad news type of situation. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad CEO. I'm not saying he's a good CEO. What I'm saying is that, okay, in another perspective for this whole situation, okay, if you want to look at it in another light, okay, if this guy, in fact, is this massive gamer, then he should be still a massive gamer, right? Now, the problem is that like when you do your passion, I think he was a passionate gamer. I really do think he was a passionate gamer, but I think that the bureaucracy that is Microsoft sort of made him turn from a gamer to something that he himself was not accustomed to. Like, remember when they had those layoffs, those 1,900 people layoffs last year or something, right? Or was it last year or beginning of this year? Anyhow, he released a statement that was straight up corporate bullshit, okay? Corporate bullshit. And this was totally opposite of how he was talking about Xbox and the gaming division and Microsoft, even during the One X era when he was, the Scorpio thing. Oh, it's going to it eats monsters for breakfast, blah, 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 blah. He was like, there was a different angle from what he spoke when he was, in charge of the Xbox division initially, and he was in charge of the helm of the release of the One X console variant and everything like that. Then he became, and I saw that transition, he became less genuine and started taking the corporate line. And guess what? I don't fault him for that. Because you know what? If I was paid like he was paid, I would tag the corporate line. Fuck all of you. I don't care. You don't like me? Go fuck yourself. I don't care. I'm getting paid $1 million a year.
I know why part of that happened, and I can tell you about it off stream, but
yeah, I mean, but you saw that, and you saw so like these types of corporations, especially fucking mega corporations like Microsoft, where like look at the poor guy. I feel sorry for the poor guy. Like, look at the poor guy. He would look like he was done 2 years ago. This poor guy was just like, he was just there. He was exchanging oxygen for carbon dioxide, but that's pretty much it. And he was just reciting whatever the PR department was telling him to say. And it just, it broke him. And see, that's the thing. That I don't know. I don't know if
no, he's still a gamer, dude. He's still a gamer. Trust me. That's not going to change. That's like if all of a sudden, we like. I think he's closer to me. I'm actually a little bit older than Phil.
Yeah,
but I'm still gaming. I showed no signs of slowing down. I think he's the same way. Now, no, he probably will not ever let his personal gamer tag go out, because once he's done with Xbox, I bet you the P3 thing will go away, or at least it won't be used anymore, because that way he can have his privacy and and become Phil Spencer instead of P3. Because I don't ever think that was his primary gaming thing anyway. Most of them, I know they have the one that they let the public see, and then they have the one that they use at home or whatever.
So so let me pivot to you, Paul. How do you feel history is going to view Phil Spencer and his...
Well, see, you're trying to separate Xbox from Microsoft gaming, but they're one and the same now. Yeah.
Okay.
I think as a brand, he's been more positive for Xbox than he has negative. I think in the end, when you get past all the fanboyism, I think he'll be remembered as somebody who did Microsoft and did Xbox right. Did they have some fumbles? Absolutely. But all in all, I think he'll be remembered as somebody who who picked up what Don Matrick dropped and made something of it. And whether you like it or not, console or not, Xbox in a way in the gaming space is a very important and big part of the gaming space. So I think in the end, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, he'll be viewed as a mostly positive.
Okay, cool. All right. I mean, everyone has their opinion in this regard, and I mean, yeah, it's fine. I mean, I think that
okay, cool. Everyone has an opinion. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
and it can
That's
go
his
on
way
either
of saying
side,
he
right?
thinks I'm full of shit. That's his way of saying he
Exactly.
thinks I'm full of shit.
No. I'm not saying my opinion is right, your opinion is wrong, or your opinion is right, my opinion. I'm just saying, the proof is going to be the pudding, and I do hope for him it does work out because I wouldn't want to be Don Matrick. Because, you can't go anywhere besides people just looking at you and shitting on you for no reason. Okay, fuck you, They don't know the whole situation. I mean, the problem is that people are so busy playing games, they don't want to look at the corporation. When you are a fucking CEO, when the buck stops here at you, that's a whole lot of goddamn pressure. That is a whole lot of goddamn pressure.
Yeah, and maybe that's why he played games though, dude, because that's why I used to get home from work and play games, was as a pressure release. Now it just happens if he works in the gaming space and he likes to play games, more the better. But I honestly used to get home and throw on some X-Wing Alliance and blow away TIE fighters for a couple hours after work. Cause that's how I release pressure. Let's go shoot shit.
Well, all I can say is this. When I was in college, there was a brief time that I worked at Chick-fil-A. I couldn't tell you the month after I left that job, I didn't eat chicken for a fucking month. Okay. I mean, it took me a month to sort of get back to Chick-fil-A.
When you were eating there, I don't think you were really eating chicken for the whole month,
Chick-fil-A is the only one that I can actually have some sort of confidence on. I have no goddamn confidence in McDonald's or Burger King. And I know I definitely don't have any faith in churches. I'm convinced that goddamn chicken that they serve in churches is not chicken, it's condor. God, when your goddamn wing is this fucking big, that ain't a fucking chicken. I'm sorry. That's an albatross. I'm sorry. So Chick-fil-A is the only company, fast food company that right now that I have any faith that it still serves actually chicken, So there you go. So anyhow, all right. So let me go to you guys. Let me go to the next one. What about Sarah Bond? She did not retire. She just fucking resigned. Was it something that she was forced to do, or was it something that she actively did? And if she did it actively, why the fuck did she resign such a lucrative post when she was the heir apparent?
Because she saw what Phil had to put up with him. Fuck that shit.
She's like, I gotta have kids. I'm not gonna have any goddamn kids with this fucking dead ass job.
Damn.
The other possibility is maybe Phil has already something lined up and she's going with him.
Do you really think they got something lined up? Do you think
that's a possibility? That's a possibility.
I mean, it's always a possibility, but dude, man, Phil's what? He's at 60 right now, you said roughly?
Right, but
58.
But
he's 58 and a half years old.
But you got 20 more competent years?
But look at Major Nelson did the same thing. He didn't have to continue working, and he bounced a couple of places and doing his own thing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you in a certain extent. I think he's going to do something. If he takes a job in another situation, it'll probably be something really relaxed or something that, he's just there to buy his time. Because sometimes if you're used to waking up every morning to go to a job, all of a sudden waking up and not having anywhere to go, that's sort of kind of weird, So, he may do it, he might do it, but then again, he might say, fuck it, I got 20 years, and I got a shit ton of money. Somebody's got to spend this shit. Otherwise I got to go to all the kids, So, yeah, I mean, first of all, Phil, now that you've retired, dude, look, stop the Ozempic, go to the closest Krispy Kreme and order a fucking dozen Gladies.
No, see, you and me think of this differently because I've been on Zepbound for over a year now, and I've lost 100 pounds, and I look healthier.
You lost 100 pounds. Healthier. What? How? Where? Did you take your shoes off or something?
I lost 100 pounds.
Dude,
no.
Don't you remember what he used to look like? Don't you remember what he? No offense.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now he can fit on one camera screen. He doesn't need two.
I
weighed
that's not
300.
meant to be offensive, but yeah, he was a big boy, dude. He was.
I weighed 345 pounds, and I'm now 100 less than that.
Shit, you're
I
halfway
feel
away.
better.
You're 300 pounds away from us filming another show of my 600
But
pound
look.
life.
Look. We shouldn't. So we shouldn't talk about. So we shouldn't talk about Phil anymore because I mean, okay, let's just take it as it is. He's gonna take his, his retirement, his whatever. Let's not call it a golden parachute because we refer to golden parachutes as people that get kicked out of the job and they get a severance. Let's call Phil's, because he's retiring, a platinum parachute. Okay,
His retirement.
He's
It's
getting
his
a golden
retirement
yacht.
package.
He's getting a
Golden
golden yacht. He's going to
package.
ship off
He's
in
a
the
golden
distance.
yacht. Yeah, that's
Ship
exactly
off
what it was.
sailing in comfort. Like he's cruising. He's not bailing.
So, but what I want to talk about is, so why does Sarah Bond feel like she needs to leave if Phil leaves? Because think about it. What has Sarah Bond really proven that she's been able to do for Xbox gaming other than just showing up on some streams? Is Sarah Bond jumping out because Asha Sharma sees through her bullshit?
No, I don't think so.
No. Do you think there was something going on?
Or
I
is
think-
it
Okay,
like when you get two ladies together, they tend to fight like cats? Is that why?
Let's
she's
go
leaving?
all
Because
Jerry
she
Springer
can't
on
work
this
for another
bullshit.
woman.
Let's go, Jerry. Let's take it all the way to fucking
hang on,
Jerry
hang
Springer.
on.
Do you think there was something going
no.
on between Sarah and
No,
Phil?
I want to point out the whole.
Don't do
If you
that.
remember the Family Guy Star Wars episode, oh look, Leia, another woman. I hate her. Bitch. You know?
Oh God. Oh, speaking of Star Wars, that new Mandalorian Grogu movie coming out, my son is so pumped. I'm gonna have to take him to IMAX on May 22nd. OMG.
Rich Christian said she was fine. Now, do you look at old Jerry Springer? Do you think that Sarah Bond is in 9 months have to go to Maury Povich to do a?
No. but
Dude, I'll tell you what.
But if I remember right, didn't Phil bring her into Xbox? She's always been kind of like his.
She has. She's always been under Phil's wing.
She's been under Phil, all right.
No, don't do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Wow. That's slander, sir. That is slander.
They're both out of the
Black
fucking
History
corporation. Who
Month as
gives a
well.
fuck?
Come
Yeah,
on, man.
Come on. If you can't look,
Yeah.
you can't go. We're just
You brought that
joking.
up
We're
in
having
Black
fun.
History Month. How dare
Come
you?
on, man.
No, just that they work well together, and I don't think it has anything to do with anything sideways or anything. I just think I would, but I honestly do think
Sideways.
she
Sideways and upside down.
You know what?
all right.
I am seriously tired of trying to say.
Okay,
serious shit
sorry.
And you being.
I
stupid.
blame the Buffalo Trace.
But look,
You
Go
just
ahead.
said you were
Your eyes
drinking a
like
smoky
this.
bourbon.
Right.
Have you forgotten already what you're drinking?
Yeah.
Have you got the bottles mixed up already? You know, they're very different looking bottles. I mean, shit wise.
All right, Cerebral, before you get pissed
But-
off even further,
but
go ahead.
yeah, given the focus on AI and stuff and the stuff it may be something different than she wants to deal with. She may not like the direction that things are getting pushed, and this is stuff we've known coming. And this may have been what triggered Phil going last August or whatever. I was going, I'm out.
Mhm.
To Satya and telling Satya to let you know that I'm planning on leaving. So let's start laying those that pathway so that can happen in a smooth manner. Because we know that ever since last year, Satya has been pushing this AI thing and changing the direction
Well-
of things and doing all that.
And I do have something to say about that real quick. I think like what we've been seeing from other developers in the industry and what AI is being used for, I really think Microsoft's got a whole different outlook on this AI deal, because I've been using for the last couple of days, I've really embraced AI. I've been using a lot of Copilot on my phone. I've been asking Copilot a lot of questions about setting things up on my, and it gives me directions.
ChatGPT
It doesn't
is
do
better.
anything for me. So I don't know. I really believe that you're not going to see like the whole thing about AI being used in Expedition 33 for placeholders and things getting stolen for Marathon because AI happened to find this and what. I don't believe you're going to see that in Microsoft's camp. I really, really
But
don't.
they put the
Because
head
that is
of
not what
AI
Microsoft's
as the
AI
head
has
of
ever
C-
been aimed at.
But then that's the
It's
head
not-
of the AI thing taking helm of Xbox. and the
But
first
if
thing she
you've
said, no
ever
AI
used
slot.
Microsoft's AI, that is not what it's aimed at. You can't give Copilot and like with the new version of Chat GPT, you can take a picture of like a hat with a logo on it, and you can put it in Chat GPT, and you could ask Chat GPT, alter this the way I want you to alter it. Make it this way. You can't do that with Copilot. Is more or less an information service where you can find out exactly what you want to find out and exact directions on how to do it as soon as you want it. And it's more of an opinion slash fact piece. That's what Microsoft, I believe, is going with AI. They're not going the Sora route or the way these other developers have been using it to as a placeholder to fill in and actually do work for them or vice versa. I don't want to get into that because there's really a lot of speculation on whether or not that is what it was being used as and what it, yeah. I don't believe that's not Microsoft's whole direction with AI. They're looking at it as an information service to give you quick and honest and factual results. That's been my experience so far with their AI.
Well, what Microsoft wants everyone to do, or how integrated they want everything to be in AI, that's a different story. But I mean, it just seems kind of weird, like that they picked of all people to take helm was the AI lady, and then the first thing she says is, "Oh yeah, we're not going to have AI slop," and I'm like, okay, well, then why do they pick you, an expert at?
Well, I mean,
Because maybe she's not
there's
going to let them
multiple-
do slop. She's going to make them do
it could be quality
AI.
AI. Yeah, like that. That's exactly that. You know.
So, yeah, I don't know.
It may come out 5 years from now that the whole fall of some of Xbox's projects is because they didn't use AI. Then how would we look at them? Oh, look, they were the good guys all along when we were cussing AI. What the fuck?
Well, hindsight is 2020, as they always say, right? So it's just one of those things that the proof is going to be in the pudding when it comes out in the wash, right? So it's like in a situation again.
Can you use any more similar things there?
Similes
Yeah,
or-
like three of them right there. Three of them right there.
Similes.
Throw in a few more.
I'm in the South, fucking. We always speak in idioms. What can I say? The funny thing is, this generation doesn't even fuck what a fucking idiom. I said it's an idiom. I ain't an idiot. I didn't say you're a fucking idiot. I said it's an idiom. And now that you don't know what an idiom is, yes, you are an idiot. All right, okay, that is our show for tonight, guys. So, anyways, let everything wash out in the wash. Anyways, you play your games or whatever you want to play them on. At least right now, let's just say it this way: the whole bullshit that we've been dealing with for the past 10 plus years. Nintendo does what Sega does what Nintendo don't, and don't ever underestimate the power of the PlayStation and Sega. And all that other shit, and it's thinking Dreamcast and all that shit. We can finally say now we can sort of go back to what really matters at the end of the day, and it is the games. And that is what I'm looking forward to, the hardcore discussion of games. What makes the games wonderful to you, not wonderful to you. It is finally, gaming is sort of trending to where it should have been to begin with. Again, I don't know. I don't prescribe to exactly what KY says that every game, I think every game should be on every platform eventually, but I said it eventually. But if we could finally go back to discussing games, because that at the end of the day, whether you play it on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, Nintendo, whatever, at the end of the day, what really matters is how good are the fucking games. Like, it doesn't matter if you can run it at 60 or you can run it at 120. Did you have a good ass time playing the 60 FPS experience or the 120 FPS experience? Whether the game, if you have a shit game, whether you're going to run that bitch on 120 FPS or 60 FPS, it's a bitch ass game. You don't got to play it, So finally, we could talk about games, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Concrete discussions about what makes this game palatable to you. Because again, there's too many games, and we all have different genres of choice. As I said, personally speaking, I prefer Fable over GTA 6. But then again, I like hearing from passionate individuals what makes them like whatever. That is like whenever Cozy comes on, she talks about this archaic bullshit, or KY talks about this archaic bullshit. I will never play those crappy ass games that they play. But I mean, it's always fascinating to listen to what type of game.
What arcade? Huh? You said arcade. What are you referring to?
Archaic games. Like, what was that game that you were playing last week that nobody fucking cares about? What is it? You found it on Steam? What was the game you were playing last week? Huh?
On Steam?
What was that game you were talking about last week that you were playing?
The new RTS game?
Yeah.
It's a new game. It's in early access.
What was the game called?
Calyx.
Okay, Calyx. Okay, I am not good. I do not have the time to go back and explore the intricacies of Calyx and figure out whether Calyx is good is something that I would like or not. But I know what KY likes.
It's a new game.
No, I mean, it's a new game, but I don't have time to go and sit there and experiment with it. But I know KY played it, and KY enjoyed it, and KY described what the game was and why he was passionate about it or lack thereof, and I could.
And I live stream it.
Yeah, I mean, but then when your opinion as a player, whether it's positive or negative, will influence somebody else's opinion, and that's what I like, because we do not have enough time on this planet. The sun is going to go supernova soon. I mean, not supernova, but it's going to swell up to a red giant soon. Hold on. You don't have enough fucking time. All these goddamn dates.
Fuck you mean soon? It's like a couple thousand years.
If you have your services set to offline play compatibility, and we have a major solar flare and everything's taken down, you will have time to get to your backlog. Just saying.
Okay.
You'll have plenty of time to get to your backlog before the infrastructure is back up in 8 months.
So if you want to play any LAN parties during the apocalypse, you know whose house to go to.
Dude, I'm set up. I'm set up right now. I've already got the consoles in 4 rooms. Let's go. Come on.
Shit. I know where my ass is hiking to.
Listen.
The world.
Before I had good enough internet out here in the sticks, I used to invite friends over and put them in different rooms and everybody would play split screen Gears of War.
The problem is those motherfuckers are still in the room. You need to let them go.
And that's how we filled our parties to beat horde mode before I had good internet. We did it locally.
We just want to know, did you let those poor guys out of the basement, or are they like those people in Ohio still stuck in the fucking
No, they're buried in the backyard.
Oh, okay. Right. Now that you're done with them, you don't need it because of online access. Oh shit, that was good. That was a good show. We had a really good discussion. We went back. We pissed off Cerebral. What? How many times did we piss you off, Cerebral? Once, twice, 3 times?
I counted 3.
Cerebral, what was the count of how many times you rage quit? You're silent.
Do you know how many times I make Wize mad? I'm not Wize, but Paul. How many times I make Paul mad silent on Game Set Live? 0. I make Paul mad 0 times on Game Set Live. Thank you very much. And I think that's why he likes us so much.
No, that
he gets a chance to talk on Game Set Live.
Then apparently you need to do what apparently you're not giving him his fix. Okay, Cerebral, you were saying how many times did you threaten to rage quit? Sorry,
you're muted, Wize. Muted, Wize. Muted.
I did not mute him.
I'm muted. I'm just ignoring him.
Oh, I know, Wize. Hey, I hate not Wize. I keep calling you Paul. I hate that touch button on the side of the mic too. I fucking hate it.
Actually, it's not that. I did mute it myself and I forgot to unmute earlier. I have
Oh,
a separate board from a mic. that button on the side of my mic doesn't do anything anymore.
Yeah,
Um,
no. How many times did you threaten to rage quit?
Four, I believe.
Four.
And it wasn't a matter of leaving. It was just, I was tired of trying to talk and getting cut off for whatever stupid reason. Because I'll say it again, when I'm trying to make a serious point and you crack wise or say something stupid, because it pisses me off, because I'm actually trying to make a valid discussion point, and you know, and I can't get 2 words out edgewise sometimes. Or
I
the
know,
one
but
time, or the one
from
time
one-
that I wasn't done talking and you went off and then totally forgot to let me finish my thought. You know,
okay,
not
for-
you,
okay.
him.
I know, but
I blame Yobi.
speaking about Wize, listen, from one sober guy to another, that's bourbon's effect. It just happens.
That
that's
and
some good
whiskey
shit.
dick, which I
blame-
don't think he knows the difference of. But you know.
Blame Dragonheart Yobi for buying me this decanter, man. He's like he's opened up a hornet's nest. I blame Yobi. I'm pointing fingers at you, Yobi. If what?
Remember, your drunk ass needs to have an answer for me next week. Remember?
Yes, sir. I will definitely have an answer for you next week. I will know Tuesday what March looks
you'll
like.
know
45.
Wednesday because Wize is going to be on Game Set Live next week.
I will be on the 8th live next week because I'm free on Wednesday this time. Thank God.
And I need to get OBS set up for 5 people. That way I don't have to do it in the future. I'm that way I'll already be ready for a guest.
There you go.
I mean, I am so tired of this semester. I'm just ready for I'm counting the days down. Like, what are we? Like almost end of February, so we got March, April, May. So 3 more months. I gotta suck it up and go. You know, and it's gonna be a hellacious 3 months. But oh well, it is what it is. So
Then you're gonna come be
Wize
complaining
got
because you got a
some-
shit during
hey,
the summer. Yeah. So.
Are you keeping track of the chat? Lord Metroid's talking some smack. Lloyd Metroid said Wize got some skills grabbing that stick.
well, you know, nobody else is grabbing it, so might as well me. You know.
Wise, I'm a disappear, man. I got some pizza waiting for me, man.
Triple. Okay, tell us where you can find you. Let's go ahead and do our outro. Triple, tell us where you can find you, sir.
Yeah, no, you could find me here occasionally, sometimes maybe Fridays Eastern time at 6:30 p.m. You can check out my YouTube channel, Triple Combo Gaming, Twitch whenever I post stuff, and yeah, I'm gonna log off.
Means I did want to bring up a topic,
Peace
but I mean, I know we're probably going to push it to next week.
Have a good weekend.
Yep, have a good one. I did want to bring up a topic that was regarding these developers. Like, you know, like last year we had Clear Obscure that just came out of left field that like ran away with everything. This year it looks like, again, from the preliminary hearings, Crimson Desert will be one of those games. A couple of years ago, famously, was Baldur's Gate. So I wanted to bring up these games that like are coming out of left field that are really giving these traditional AAA developers a run for their money. But again, that will be something we could talk about next week. So yeah, I mean, just something to think about when, you know, you guys are. And yeah, KY, tell us where we can find you, sir.
Yeah, it's Kai Bob on every platform. Twitter, I haven't changed it yet. Xbox, I haven't changed it, but it is changed on YouTube and on Steam. It's the Game Set Live YouTube channel, where we do high definition streams with low definition behavior. 4K 60 every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. On Fridays, I'm here 6:30 Eastern p.m. Standard Time. Oh yeah, and yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of things coming up. I'm getting ready to start doing a barrage of game streams in 4K 60 HDR. I finally figured out it's a different YouTube server that you have to upload HDR content to. You cannot choose YouTube's primary ingest server. You have to choose YouTube's HL server to get the full 4K 60 HDR experience. And yeah, I'm all set up for that. And I've got so many games on Steam that I've downloaded and I've played a few minutes of, and I thought, man, this is cool. But then something else came out. I'm gonna do a barrage where I'm doing like a 2 hour stream every 2 days of some games that I think a lot of people will be interested in, but I've not really got time to get involved in. And on that note, I'll leave you the same way I leave every stream, and that is, gamers, please get outside, touch some grass, hug the people that you love, but remember that your sanity comes first and foremost. So please continue to game on.
All right. Cool beans. And last but not least, Cerebral, tell us where we can find you, sir.
Twitter, Cerebral Paul 1, Twitch, YouTube, Cerebral Paul, Wednesdays, Game Set Live with Bob, and Fridays here. And then also editor and contributor and on lordsofgaming.net. And that's about it. There you go.
All right, cool beans, cool beans. I do want to thank everybody who showed up in the chat. Again, I'm going to not get everybody, but if you did show up and I did not mention your name, I do want to say thank you. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have had an engaging discussion as we have. Rich Krishner, D487, Lord Metroid 1, obviously, Lesser Logic, RPG 88, Bounty, and there was a couple others, but again, I sort of scrolled all the way down, and
D487 was trying to pick a fight with me earlier on, but we quashed that. I think we're cool now.
And Lord Metroid, Wize likes to eat them balls and Pac-Man with those damn decanters. Oh, okay, well, shit. Don't ask what happens when I eat the power pellet. That's all I gotta say. So,
He goes crazy for them balls after the power pellet.
Pac-Man fever. So there you go.
They look like the yellow, off the game.
All right. Okay, so my name, as always, is the wise old gamer, the man who brings the fun and dysfunctional, or if you asked the hooker last night, the man who brings the icky and sticky. You can find me every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern with this motley cast of characters on Wasted with Wize. And of course, you can always catch me as well on PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and Twitter, Wise Old Gamer with a Z. That is our show for tonight. So if you liked what you saw, so please hit the like and subscribe on the way out. And make sure to catch us next Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And we go live 95% of the time on Friday at 6:30 p.m. unless there is something that happens familiarly, which we try to sort of move it to either Thursday or Saturday. I try to keep a consistent one podcast a week episode uploaded per week, but sometimes life happens, and I got two boys, and one of them is in college, one of them is about to go. So I'm kind of busy. So again, I want to thank everybody who showed up, everyone who watched, who's going to watch this on the replay. Again, we couldn't do this without you, and we are eternally grateful that you have decided to come in. Again, we are not here to give you engaging, thought-provoking. It's a Friday night. Most people on a Friday night want to relax, have fun, laugh, shoot the shit and stuff, and that's what it is for. I mean, we're not going to take each other seriously. We joke with each other, we rib with each other, but we all know sort of our limits and everything, and we know that we are doing it in jest. And again, it's just, we talk this shit because, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We're all gamers. And then, whether you play Candy Crush or whether you play Ghost of Yotai or whether you play Halo, you play games. And then therefore you're a gamer. And what else? Life is fucked. You wake up, you do your 9 to 5, you run the rat race. And this is one day a week. I get to escape the normal grind of my day-to-day and get together with like-minded individuals and talk about games. Now, of course, not everybody plays the same games that we do, but again, as I said, I like finding out why somebody is passionate about a particular game, and maybe, hey, if they maybe communicate their love effectively, maybe it might might pique my curiosity and make me want to dip into a game that I normally wouldn't be accustomed to. And again, that is the point. We just want to make sure you come here, you have fun, you have a few laughs. You get your weekend started off right, because life sucks, life is stressful, and if we can give you 3 hours in a 7-day period where you can sort of forget all that shit and sort of laugh and joke and not take yourself seriously, then hey, we've fit our bill. We're not looking to be the number one podcast on Twitter, but you know what? At the same time, we're just looking to make sure that everyone who watches us has fun.
We're not the number 4 million podcast on Twitter. I wouldn't worry about that.
At the end of the day, the hardest thing to do, and I say whether it's in gaming, whether it's on stand-up, whether it's on a TV show, whatever, It is to make somebody laugh. That is, you can make somebody afraid, you can make somebody angry, you can make somebody whatever. But the hardest thing you can make any human being do is have a genuine chuckle. And if I can make you even have one of those, then I feel that my podcast has achieved that goal. And I'm eternally grateful and humbled that I'm able to do that. So that is the motivation, and hopefully you follow in turn, and hopefully my podcast compatriots feel the same as well. So that is my spiel. Again, you can catch us here every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And before I log out, I want to say, like I always say, you can be anywhere, but you've not been anywhere till you first been wasted with Wize. Have a great weekend, everybody. Play your games. And if you're going to Morocco, if you go outside on the coast and you see a big ass yacht, that's Phil's. There you go.
Peace out, Phil. We love you. Mwah! Peace out, Phil. We love you.
Have a great night, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you next week at 6:30.